spend some time with the dead.
On demand almost. We'd be like, hey, can you like touch the duck or make it go off? And it would just start lighting up and going crazy.
Why should we be afraid of you? Hello and welcome to Whatgoesbump tonight. I'm your host, Riley Clark, and alongside me as always is
Trevor Jensen.
And today our special guest, G from Paranormal Search. Ow, ow, ow.
Oh,
How's doing?
Not too bad.
What's going on, brother?
Not much.
So, where are you from, G?
From as in country-wise, or where am I located as living at the moment?
Let's go with both.
Yeah, why not both?
Serbia, Croatia, Serbia, either
Okay.
or.
Mhm.
And I'm from Baltimore, Maryland.
Baltimore. All right. Another. We had Hauntings with Hodge. He's from Maryland area. as
Yep, he's
well.
right around about, was it half an hour away from me? 40 minutes?
That's awesome.
That's awesome. Good friend of the show. And what got you started into the paranormal world?
No, that's the question. That's the
That's the burning question.
Hey, we gotta hit it.
you called it.
Man, I wish I knew the timeline for everything, but I would say maybe it was a year and a half ago.
Mhm.
Okay.
When I was at my apartment and saw my grandmother on the couch. My grandmother passed away from cancer.
Yep.
And that got me, I think that was the time that I made that channel. I'm not sure. I can't remember though, but that was the main reason right there.
Maybe there's
Hell yeah.
Go.
I don't know how long it's been, but
Yeah, 'cause we
Time
did-
is relevant anyway.
yeah. Diana, much love. Josh, Hauntings with Hodge, much love to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out everybody in the chat. You guys are the real
Shout out
MVPs.
Everybody in the chat.
So when did you move over here then?
I came to the United States in the year of 2000.
Okay. Makes sense. So have you always like your whole life like believed that there was a paranormal, or is it just as of recently like you really started to believe in it?
I didn't believe in it at first because when I
Mhm.
first started watching it, I was watching people that were faking it. I think
Oh,
there was
yeah.
rings involved, and
Mm.
I was like, "There's no way." Up until I experienced it on my own.
Right.
It's one thing like experiencing it by yourself and experience it with one other person or two other people.
Right. I love those
attempted,
intimate groups.
I tried to go inside of Fairfield by myself. I tried to go inside of Madison Seminary.
Whew.
I could not make it at Fairfield. There's no.
Hey, I commend you for trying though. That sounds daunting.
For sure. I
Trying and
don't think I've ever done a place by myself.
provoking. That whole provoking thing got me into
Yeah.
deep shit. Went south from
Oh.
there.
Provoking.
That was
So,
my
like,
way of pushing it. I'm like, I had some evidence, but I was like, I'm gonna take it to the extreme, see if I can, get thrown against the wall. Like,
Yeah.
do some crazy shit.
Did you ever feel
Right.
unsafe?
I did at the infirmary at Fairfield when I was up in the dungeons
Yeah.
in the chicken coop by myself.
What did it feel like to you?
It was really heavy, really hard
Yeah,
to breathe.
That's what I always say is
everything's, like,
heavy.
they're surrounding you and everything.
Mm.
And then when I kept provoking and telling the UK, you're not allowed to be here, you're not allowed to hurt the people anymore, and it just went away, and it just felt so much more like calm and relief.
Yeah.
Like you were the only one up there. Like I could just sleep here. It's just like a normal bedroom,
Right. Yeah.
yeah.
But,
Do you consider yourself like more of a skeptic of the paranormal then? Or are you more of just like it definitely exists and is there?
I experienced it by myself, definitely. I mean, that wasn't our first location for this Forest Haven Asylum. The video we just premiered yesterday, we've been there over 30 times. That was the first abandoned location, which I don't recommend anyone going to because you have to go through the woods. It is trespassing, but
Yeah.
if you know your way through the woods and stuff, it's not a problem. But that's where we caught our first EVP in the morgue.
I love that.
That's also on the channel. That should be the very first video.
Yeah, I was actually
That's
watching it
on there.
before we hopped on here. I think I'm only like
We don't
10
fuck with
minutes in.
fakes. Exactly. The Meow Chow Panda. Yeah, that's absolutely correct.
No, yeah,
No.
and that's one of the things I like about your channel, dude, is you like to post like super unedited, like, you know, raw footage, and you just, you know, you're just showing like this is what it is. You know what I mean? Like this happened, and there's nothing you can say that.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's gonna have their own opinion of it.
Yeah,
Of course.
Everybody's
we've ran
going
into it
for
too.
It's just a competition for now on. It's not like how it was like about a year and a half ago. Everybody's trying to, you know, I guess do these thumbnails. Apparently, these arrows are working for people and shit like that. But
Or no, it's
Yeah,
demons.
I don't.
Demons.
We don't understand the thumbnail thing at all. Like we recently just like our last video, we did something different with our thumbnail, and it worked. So I'm gonna say there is something to it, but like at the same time,
It's
felt
there's
wrong the way-
clickbait. Yeah, there's a lot of
it's the
clickbait
titles,
out
though,
there.
yeah. It's the titles that be clickbaits, but I can't sit there and write demon caught on camera if I didn't catch it, and I don't know exactly if it was, you know,
Right.
I just put my titles before. Yes, I used to clickbait it, but
That would be
for
more
now,
like
I'm
along
just
the lines of faking evidence if you did that.
I just put the titles on how I feel like
Right.
that
Yeah,
night.
I mean, if it's clever, it's clever. I love that. But
we let the night write its title.
exactly.
Essentially, like how we feel after the investigation. That's the name that we usually go with. Like that Asher Walton house, like we felt like that was the most haunted house in Indiana. Like that's our true belief. It's the only house I've investigated in Indiana.
And there
so
was
like,
2 accounts of paranormal poltergeist activity in that house, and there was unrefutable at this point too. So it's like I'm gonna go ahead and say that if you want to put my like paranormal like reputation on the line here, I'm gonna probably say I didn't lie.
Exactly.
That's
know
what
you
always
love
gets
the
me.
clickbait. We know you
yeah.
love the clickbait, Hodge.
It's what gets me the most though is a lot of people that you do see that are faking stuff are the ones that are legitimately just fucking outrageously lying to you. Like, and it's not hard to see it. And people are just eating it up.
I was telling people about what's his name? Jasco.
Mm.
And the only reason I bring his name up is because I recently found out he's from my country as well, and I never knew that up until maybe a month and a half ago. And I'm like, it's crazy because he don't have an accent and shit like that. So
right,
but
You don't have an accent either.
No, not really. I would just say you got a Maryland accent to me.
He talks too totally. He talks English in a whole nother language too.
I love that. We try to talk in accents all the time to like play characters as we do our podcasting episodes and stuff, and it's like I enjoy doing it, but I also sound like a retard.
So I was going on my rant on Twitter, and that's just how I feel with the paranormal. Like, if you say you love it and it's your passion, then you would just post it. You know, don't worry about the views or anything like that. If you get caught up about the views, you're gonna lose passion and interest for it, and you're just gonna give up on what you love doing and what makes you happy and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I don't worry about this shit.
I definitely feel that because like we are totally guilty of that sometimes. So like we release a video and we're like, this is gonna get 1,000 views, and it doesn't. You know, and it's probably not gonna hit 1,000 views for a long time.
Before, but when you're a low channel, like you're in the 1.93K or whatever, your algorithm is to hit about 120 views, whether it's a video or a premiere and stuff. You stay in that algorithm, you'll be fine. But
and it's not even like we're like doing more outrageous things to like grab viewers and whatnot. It's just like we're trying to improve like the quality of what we're putting out, like better video itself, better like clips.
We want to become, you know, like
skills
works. Like this is a craft to us. We want to be excellent.
Like I want to be like a warrior where it's like, how else am I going to be better in battle? Like I got to go out and like fuck up a bunch and get slashed, and then I figured it out. Like now I'm gonna go kill it.
And like naturally, both of us were super competitive. Like so like it works for us because it's like, well, the only way, like it is a giant competition. We want everyone to succeed. You know, we love seeing everyone. On the channel. like almost everyone that's been on our channel recently has had like a big blow up too. And
It's
just
almost like
awesome
we're
to see.
Good Luck Chuck.
Yeah.
That's why
I'm
I
not
feel
gonna-
like those big channels, I don't think they share out the little channels because they don't want their people to see, and you know, this is real paranormal, and then leaving their channel to come to a one that's legit.
I wholeheartedly believe that YouTube is going to kill TV paranormal hunting.
Yes.
Like
yes,
I definitely
100%.
believe that.
I think there's a new, like, it seems like we're joining the wave late, as you could say, because there are channels that are big, but I think the paranormal world is on such a like uptick and like big movement to people wanting to experience this stuff, which is awesome. That, you know, channels like everyone that's been on us has the opportunity to like become a big channel, because everyone that's been on creates awesome content, enjoyable content, and they have, you know, actual people who like to watch their stuff every time they release.
And nobody that we've talked to, and such as yourself as well, has ever faked any content that they've ever caught. I mean, maybe it's been misrepresented because of misconstrued, like, I thought this was that, but, like, it's never, like, intentional.
Right. Yeah, trust me, I was worried about growing 7-8 months ago up until it starts affecting you mentally and stuff. You know, it doesn't matter how much work you put in, you're not going to. It doesn't matter. I do it and stuff because I just love doing it and stuff. It helps me like mentally, and with this helps me with depression and shit. Like everybody, the support, the community tab, like.
Yeah, I'm shout out to everybody that reached out to me yesterday because they saw I was having a rough day. Like MVPs, and exactly, like mental health is important. Like it's super important to also like take time for yourself and do what you need to get yourself in a better headspace. Because like be here tomorrow. Like it's everybody wants you here, you know.
Yeah, like anyone that creates content, like obviously everyone's goal is to make this their job, right?
I wish,
like, but like with that comes like a lot of mental responsibility as well. So like you have to stay in a mental capacity to create content all of the time.
Yeah.
And not let the bad days and bad videos affect what your next content's going to be. You got to continue to like, you know, build off of that. And I think like we tried to make every show that we do like a better interview, and I think we're getting better at interviewing as we go.
I hope so.
Like, you know, we've gone this far, and like it's awesome to see like you reached out to us to come out onto the show, I'm pretty sure. So like that's something when we started we never would have had happen if it wasn't for, you know, wanting to connect with the community. And that's a huge part of where your success can come from too, is like being willing to be involved, you know, in the community and presenting your evidence the best way you can.
Yeah, that's true.
We've made so many friends doing this. It's insane.
Yeah. And now we're collabing with people, like legitimately doing collab videos. That's fun thing that I never thought would happen either.
Collab sounds interesting. I think our next collab, I know I promised Tommy that we're going to collab with him whenever.
Oh, yes, you gotta collab with Tommy.
It's so fun to investigate with him.
He's so fun to investigate with. Shout out Tommy Tombstone, if you know him.
So, what is your favorite equipment to use while you're investigating?
Oh boy.
There's cat balls in pod.
Dude, cat balls are lit. I love when cat balls go off.
Everybody's gonna say, why not an EVP? That's the main top answer that anybody that you interview, it's gonna be EVP, because I mean, to me, it's the cat ball and the REM pod. I mean,
yeah,
cat ball because you got to pick it up.
Cat ball's sick.
Know, and the REM pod, there's an antenna. You can, I mean, debunk it and stuff in many ways, but if you have it inside of a location and it goes off and you reset it and it still goes off, it's unexplainable, in my opinion.
I agree with that. Yeah, we always like to say, like we've said it a million times now, but like the rule of three, where it's like if we get one thing going off, it's cool. If you get two things going off, it's a little more interesting. But if you have three things like responding to you having them go off all in sequence,
flashlights turning on.
That is we don't try very often. Yeah,
that's on the premiere from last night. As soon as the premiere started, that happened right away. The flashlight turning on.
That's so cool.
Yeah, we haven't tried. I've seen it happen. We've like when we did Ghost Hunts USA, they
Mhm.
did it on their investigation. So we've done it, but we haven't done it on like our investigations. Damn, why
I
do we
always
always
just
forget about that one?
cause I'm a little skeptical because it's like vibrations do happen and like you might not feel it, but like the
I
ground
don't
could be
know. When it's on
vibrating
command,
subtly.
man, when it's
If
on
it's
command
on
True,
and
you,
intelligent,
true.
definitely.
It is,
And
and it's
Melvin
connecting a
Panic will-
circuit, so it's like it is super weird.
But they turn right off though. Whenever you ask him, like, okay, can you turn that off now? And it goes right off. And then you ask a question, it goes right
Yeah.
back on. It's so.
Yes or no questions, though, definitely.
Yeah, I can't explain that. That one's unexplainable.
Now we have a flux, but the flashlights
Oh.
are a heck of a lot better than the flux.
Yeah.
We've
Do you
had no
hate
luck-
it? I heard a lot of people don't like it at all.
Well, we haven't used it much, but when we
No.
have used it, we've had no luck.
That's kind of how we feel about the Rook that we have. It's almost too sensitive for its own good.
yeah.
And he likes the music box too. He
The
gets all
music
excited.
box as well, yep. That's
The music box
Children,
is cool.
children love the music box. Is how I feel about that.
twice. That went off twice last night.
He gets all excited when that thing goes off.
It's hard not to. Like you get a little jingle with it too, and it's like, ooh, let's go.
Dweebs,
That's
the
exactly
flux
what he does, just about.
is like it's a pyramid with a green light on one
That's the
side and a
flux.
red light on the other.
Yeah, you can use
Yep.
that for yes or no as well.
If you can get it to work.
I always, when we go to like places and we use, say, like our EMF meters or something, I'm always very skeptical that that's
Dude,
happening or working
Haven't been using our EMF detectors at all.
because I don't know if it's broken or not. That's the thing.
It's not broken. It's
Are
not
you talking
broken.
about a K2?
Yeah,
we have
it's-
2 of them. And
yeah.
We just don't even use them anymore.
Yeah, we use those too.
I don't know about
I always
I
get
don't
out
know
the
about
K2.
those. Yeah, but when you have the phone close next to it, you have to
Yeah,
have the
that's-
phone, like the phone on airplane mode, and I don't know.
And then still, I wonder because like we use gimbals to record with our phones, so I'm like, there is power in our hands. It is on airplane mode, but I'm also carrying a battery basically. So it's like I don't trust the spikes there. But
I
if
would
I'm
say I
standing
like
like
them-
5 feet back, then maybe yeah.
I like them more for like cemeteries,
Outside when I see
Yeah,
them
like
go
something
off,
like
that
that.
yeah.
Yep.
like or out in the woods or something. Because then there's no reason for it to be going off.
No, not at all.
But in a house, you just don't know. Like so much stuff's hidden, unless you know the house doesn't have power.
Even then though, like it could still be holding a charge of some sort.
It could be, yeah.
Where are you guys located?
Oh, we are in Michigan, Muskegon, Michigan.
Holy moly, that's a long way
About like
away.
9 hours away from here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
We're
live
always-
way out there.
That's like it was when we went to those 8 locations, like up
Yeah.
with Edinburgh.
Once we're done collabing with Tommy, I was going to see if you guys wanted to do. I had a location in mind, but I think it's a little bit pricey for only 2 people. I think it's like 1,200.
Whew, yeah.
Waverly Hills.
Waverly Hills would be
Oh,
sick.
yeah.
I
See,
really want to go.
that would be freaking awesome.
Yeah, us 4 can do that. Man, it has 5 floors and stuff. I mean, why not?
Right. I almost feel like we could even add one more group into the mix and it wouldn't even be that bad because of how big that place is.
Yeah, it's 5 floors.
Yeah, like
The
we
last
just,
time we did a 5 floor, it was like there was 120 fucking people there.
Yeah, those are those public investigations. I can't.
It was terrible, but
Uh,
we did catch stuff, so.
I'm like I have mixed feelings on the like. I really want to lead one, but I don't really care to be part of one.
Yeah, no, leading the investigation was awesome. I had a great time doing that. That I will do again every time. I have no problem with that. But yeah, like being part of the 120, it's like,
It's just like I just have such mixed feelings on it now
I
that
know.
I've done more It was cool when it like I had never done an
Yeah,
investigation
exactly.
before, but now that I've done a bunch of them, it's totally different vibe. What would be your favorite location that you've done?
It doesn't have to be paranormal reasons either. If it's just like a place that was sick, it's like, hell yeah.
Yeah, or has a really awesome story. Like,
Oh, when did we go? 2 months ago. Did these 8 locations?
Mhm.
I would have to say Melbourne Manor, and then my least favorite to be Villisca. X murder house.
Why was it released?
Galiska was not
I mean,
what everybody makes it out to be.
we got evidence
Really?
and stuff
Yeah.
like that, but it's not like insane. I mean, it depends, I guess, how you approach it. If you go in there with a positive or negative mindset, if you're going to provoke, then I mean, you're going to have
more evidence.
really bad shit
Yeah,
happening.
yeah.
But Melbourne, because everything in that place is original. There was people's clothes in the cabinets that were original, and there was a man's finger shavings
He
that
clipped
he
his fingernails and they were
left
still
in
in his
there.
top drawer.
What the fuck?
Oh my!
I think a little
What?
girl
So gross.
accidentally killed herself by a jump rope.
Yes.
We got in
Oh
contact
my
with her.
god.
Inez, yeah, we got in contact with her. That was the one turning on and off the flashlight on cue.
Yeah.
That was on the live stream as well.
In Grace's room, I was like, I got super emotional from the responses in the on cue cat ball REM pod in that room, and just the responses. We had ghost tube going, and it was like everything was just going together, and I was like super emotional.
Got
like,
overwhelmed.
Well, she was saying like, what is she wanted her dress or something? You figured out she wanted her dress, and it was like, what dress? You know, where do I get it? You know, I want to give it to you, kind of thing. And it's just like. Just that headspace and emotional just took me, because I work in nursing, and that's what it is. It's a big nursing home.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, she just wants her dress, kind of thing, you know.
That makes sense.
Monroe House, I would have to say as well, was really good.
Yeah, right.
That's what we hear
really
a lot.
Intense. That's what scared us out of that. That was one of the locations that we said on Twitter we're leaving.
Yeah, we did.
I don't know what was going on. I mean, I left the basement door open upstairs, and she was doing Estes. And from what I heard of the story, the father killed his daughter and his wife. So as soon as I started asking him that question, I was like, "Did you bury their bodies inside of this that crawl space?" Because the bones, people like, who was that? Nick Raw found human bones there.
Yep.
And as soon as I asked that question, that was 3 loud thumps upstairs, like twice or 3 times and stuff.
Damn.
Oh.
And I come right up out of Estes because something went all the way down my neck, and it was just like touch me. I know I'm on the opposite side of the camera, but it was
Estes
like
is crazy because
nuts.
I think you like open yourself closer to the veil,
I feel like
honestly.
you go to like a completely different headspace.
I've seen people completely just
completely
I've seen Trevor completely trance out during an Estes method. I've seen our buddy Chase completely trance out.
Do you guys ever get the feeling that time doesn't pass this fast? So it's like you think you're doing it for 5 minutes, and they're like, "You've been under for 45 minutes, man."
This one here, when he's on live streams, and he has when I'm under Estes, I can't tell you like anything that I'm saying while I'm under Estes. I have to. I don't see the Esteses until you guys see them on the premieres. That's when I see them, and I know what's going on. And
that's just her.
Like, oh, he'll get lost in chat. Or
that's just her being honest, and me being honest, saying that we never go back through our footage. Maybe that's a mistake and stuff, because we could see something and we don't know about, but we don't go. I watch it when I post it and stuff, which this sounds shitty as an investigator, but that's why it's raw and unedited though. Like I pay attention to it when I premiere.
It's good to have it that way though, because it's like, no, I took it and it's here right here for you guys to watch with us. And if you notice something, and it's unedited, then you can't even say like I made a cut here, so I missed like a 10-second clip where something could have happened.
Yeah, because as soon as we get home from these locations, I start working on it right away.
Like,
I'm up like that all morning, the rest of the morning and all day.
And he doesn't tell me a lot of anything. He's usually working on it. I really see everything when you guys do. The Esteses, I'm like, what? Oh my gosh, like that answered you like right on.
When it lines up, it's kind of frightening. Like it's not like in a bad way, but it's like it jars you for a second because it's like, damn, I didn't think I could actually communicate with the dead, but like I'm legitimately having a full-blown conversation right now.
Yeah, like the spirits at the Asher Walton house were so intelligent. They were using the Estes method to talk to each other, not us.
Yeah, and then basically we think
completely
they talk
ignoring
to a third
us
entity.
Using us as their communication device to each other. It was wild.
Mm-hmm.
And
have you guys ever caught a full body apparition?
Yes, we did at Fairfield County Infirmary. We did.
Was it seen with your eyes or was it captured on camera?
Captured on camera.
That's crazy. I'm gonna have to go find this clip right after this.
I don't know. I thought of this crazy idea because
I was under Estes.
Yeah.
where I get these crazy ideas. But we brought a candle upstairs, up in that dungeon, and I put it on the stairs, and I told it to blow it out, and it almost blew it out. So I think I'm gonna try doing that again.
I love that though. I feel like the simpler the better, because it's like you give something like an old 1800s like old man like a phone, and you go like, touch this. What is this? Like he's gonna be like, what the fuck? Like what is that? But if you're like, here's a candle, like manipulate this candle, it's like, oh, it's a candle.
Especially if
Just
it's
poof.
like if it's calm outside, if there's no wind or anything.
It's easier to see when you.
Oh yeah.
You can see the door frame.
Back it up, yes, the hat man right there.
Oh,
Oh
what?
shit.
Top hat.
You can literally see the top hat. That's
Yeah, I think
fucking
I got
insane.
one picture on Facebook as well.
Dude, that's wild as shit. I'm not gonna lie.
You
I
caught
was
the fucking
under
hat man.
Estes and duct taped to a chair.
That's
This
what my
one had
friends
me
used to
duct
do to
taped
me.
to a chair. The very first investigation we went on together when I met him.
But were you trying to get up and get out of there before like anything ever happened? Were you like, nah, I don't want to do this? You're just like, nah, just tape me.
Yeah, I just let him.
I love that. It's like that's
Sound
balls
familiar,
of steel.
Trevor?
Yeah, it does. Everybody does shit like that to me all the time.
That's me. That's what he does to me. He guinea pigs me for that stuff.
His first paranormal experience was being duct taped to a
And
chair.
that's that accident. When that accident happened, we'll get to that though in a bit.
Oh
Oof.
my
Yeah,
God.
that's wild.
Yeah, the door come in and got his face.
You saw
I
that
legitimately
picture,
can't
bro.
tell now though at all. Whoo! You
Dude,
are lucky. That's
you are
insane.
so lucky.
Thank God.
There's another one. I think this is like a full body right there with two legs, I guess.
Yeah,
Oh,
no, I
yeah.
can see
Oh,
it.
no, that one. I was trying to find the one in the morgue.
That's what I was
That's-
looking at, yeah. Oh, yeah.
What was
it's right
weird
here.
about like?
Right behind me. Where's it at?
Yep,
In
right.
the doorway,
Oh,
yeah, you can see the head and
dude,
shoulders
what?
easily.
Right there.
Did you see that when you were taking the photo?
No,
Man,
he,
I love
he was
that.
actually super exhausted. He had been on. You've been on what 12, like almost 12 hours on live, and then
Yeah, I was on.
talking to you.
Yep.
Oh shit!
That was before. I always used to stream for like 11 hours or 8 to 9, something like that.
That is impressive, sir. Like that is super impressive. We can maybe go like 2 hours, but our phones are like, I'm gonna explode or I need a battery pack, and
Yeah, it's
I
like
want to
hard to
break.
concentrate when you do it from a live stream. You got the chat and stuff, and then you can't like fully concentrate on what you're doing.
Right?
It doesn't
Yep.
seem like that long though. Most of the time when we're live on there.
I feel like time just goes so quick when I investigate, and especially when things are happening.
Dude.
It's like you snap your fingers and it's 5 a.m.
That's literally how our investigation went last weekend. Before we knew it, it was.
It
5
goes
a.m.
on when you
really
love
was.
doing something. It goes by fast like that, though.
I
Definitely.
know. I love it and I hate it at the same time because it's like I
Much
just
love,
want to
Lisa.
really like
Royals.
you know what I mean? Like just take this all in and really like saturate myself in it and enjoy that moment. But it's like a lot of times it's just so quick and it's so random. It's like I can't. I just need more of it, and it's almost like fucking heroin. Where it's like these
It's
ghosts
not
are
like-
fucking
it's like
heroin.
addiction. You're right. It's
So-
like Estes. You think you're there for 5 minutes. Next thing you know, 4 hours have went by.
Exactly.
yeah, and you don't.
So
even
do you guys
remember
have any
anything you
dream
said.
locations? And like anywhere in the world, anything you want, you can get all access, everything.
A
Like,
week. You
I
get a
have
week
so many
there.
ideys. We could even do top 5 if it's too hard
I
to
would
pick.
say Conjuring and stuff, but I mean,
Yeah. I just feel like that's so overwashed though. Like
that's
It's-
like, yeah, everybody's like mentioned this. So
But it's
I
definitely.
do want to
up
do
there.
a school. I want to do a school.
right, yeah. Post Town
Um,
Elementary, POV
I really wanna do
Paranormal,
a
who's going to be
prison.
on our channels. They have the hookup.
Yeah, I want to do
Oh,
a
yeah.
prison as well.
I wanted to do a church, and we ended up doing one on the on. We actually left here gonna do what was it 4 locations, and ended up doing 8.
But these penitentiaries, I just don't think it's worth it as much as I want to do them because
Mhm.
you have to pay like $1,400.
That-
for
yeah.
5 hours. You
I
can't
know.
give me 6
The
hours.
penitentiaries are the gold mine.
It's
If you want a
outrageous.
penitentiary, you can charge crazy money.
Yeah,
same
it's
thing with
probably
prison.
like super awesome though, and you'll catch a bunch of shit. But like, man, my wallet hurts. Unless I'm making $100K right now, I don't think I can afford to go all the time and do that on like a monthly basis.
Yeah,
I really
transit
want to do the Missouri State
over
Prison.
2,500.
Oh my God, is it really?
A lot, man. But these 8 locations, too, they were a lot. I don't know how we did it, but
Hey, make it work.
The church was 500.
rented a U-Haul and just when we went around the
Just
toll,
went.
I think that first location was 17 and a half hours away from here.
Edinburgh, yeah.
And you guys literally just hit it all in one go and came back.
That sounds
Just
like
bravo.
so much fun.
Bravo, that's amazing. 8 locations is
Yeah.
incredible.
We slept most in the U-Haul,
In the
too, in the back
U-Haul,
over
yeah,
there.
in the back of it.
It was
except for
pouring
towards
rain.
the
It was
end.
freezing, too. It was
It
so
was
cold down
cold.
over there.
I'm gonna go ahead and say, Riley, they already won the Iron Man award for Paranormal Investigators. Because fuck,
Sure.
We,
Definitely front running for a bumpy right there. That's
That's
when we got
crazy.
on Pine Lawn, after we got done with Pine Lawn Manor, it was storming so bad and it was so cold. And we were back there like trying to sleep because
Just-
we were having to go to, where was it, Villisca after that? We went to Villisca after Pine Lawn. No, we went to the jail after that thing. But we were trying to like just get just a little bit of sleep or whatever because we were like running on, paranormal drain.
The fumes, yeah,
Location.
dude. Like paranormal fatigue is real.
Yeah.
dude.
And the worst part was when we actually stayed in a motel. Was it 2 nights in between the church and because we weren't planning it. It came out of nowhere. We were really super tired, decided to just get a hotel before we were heading home and thought we'll rest because he's going to drive. The accident previously before, we want to make sure.
Right, yeah. Everybody needs to be safe.
Right. And so we stayed in a motel and we was like getting ready to like lay down. And I was just scrolling through my, my Facebook? And I was like, oh my gosh, there's a church on here. And they just opened it. And I've always wanted to do a church. And he was like messaging them about it or whatever. And they didn't have it open that night, but they had it open the next night. So we did stay in the motel room those 2 nights.
Mhm.
But other than that, it was pretty much U-Haul and investigating.
That's incredible. That is seriously commendable though, because it takes a lot of fortitude to go to these places in the first place.
And it's all
And to
self-funded.
do it like that.
I think it was about like 2,500 altogether.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Which really isn't like, it's not too outrageous, like it's not like, yo, I broke the bank, but it's like you guys did it like.
Yeah, it's not until
we
that
did it
U-Haul
right.
charges you, like U-Haul
Boy,
charges
that
you extra
U-Haul.
miles.
Woo!
Yeah.
And the more places you can do on the weekday, the cheaper they are.
That's the thing too. Yeah, the weekdays are when you want to go to, because nobody
Winter
goes on
season,
the
though,
weekdays.
too.
Yep.
Winter season, they know how to have. I can get Fairfield and Madison $150 a piece. So
That's not bad at all. And I mean, like, all you have to do is bundle up. When we did the Eloise Asylum, like 3 years ago now, it was in January, basically, right? I think it was January. Yeah,
February.
it was
It's a lot
February.
February.
Place is sweet,
February is in Michigan.
but it was
sucks.
also like the wind chill and like inside it wasn't closed, so it was like -5 all night. So it was brutal.
You melted your shoe, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I stuck my whole foot into like this propane heater that was like the tube style, like fire pit basically, and I just melted the fuck out of my shoe because I was like warm. It was great.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it.
How do you guys feel about say like you got the opportunity to investigate Auschwitz, or like places where it's the internment camp in Germany where they had like the Holocaust, everything?
I mean, we had my country had a war, I'm sure, with Germany. So I mean, I wouldn't mind doing that. I'll play some like war songs and something like that.
Yeah, because that like a lot of the past investigators we've had on and we've talked about it. Everybody does agree that it's kind of taboo because it's like such a sore spot in history. But like in my point of view, like I'm there with you, where it's like it also is a piece of history, and I would like to know what's there, and like if I can help in any way, I guess, which I don't think I can for real, but like, or if I can soothe you by saying like, hey, I see you, I hear you. Like, I'll do that. That's fine. Like, come give me a hug, homie.
Right. Well, it's kind of like the church. We were kind of iffy about that too. Trying, some people having viewpoints on investigation.
Yeah, like, is this sacrilegious? Am I an atheist now? Like, what's going on?
Right, but
Doing a paranormal investigation in a church that
that does feel
I didn't
wrong.
really think about. I didn't really even think about it that way.
But we did before he went live there because he was like, man, is this gonna, you know, you kind of second guess the paranormal community. Some people are like, oh, that was so wrong. They should have done that because it's a church and all this and that, especially if you get something, that's not very nice in there.
Yeah. Like we've been called clowns for using the apps. And it's like, why? Like, are you experiencing this stuff firsthand or even trying it? No. Like, you are literally calling me a clown. Why?
Yeah,
because you're not doing it the right way. There's a right way?
You can't prove that the apps don't work, so...
No.
Right.
And, like, if...
It's a lot easier to prove that they do work.
Spotted Ghost is a great example of if you need to go and see how these app developers work, if you go to his actual YouTube page, he has a breakdown of how his app works and how he built it, basically, and how the others work. And it's like, okay, I don't think you're pulling the wool over my eyes whatsoever. Like, if my phone is generating things off of, like, a seismometer, like the velocity thing, gygometer, all that bullshit, it's like, okay, it makes sense. Why it's telling me these things on command, I don't know. Like, it shouldn't be, because it's not like you program into the code. It's literally just got a database of words that pull off of it because of the inputs it's getting from your phone.
Right. Everybody investigates different. You find your own way and your own way of communicating, and that's just the way it is. Just because someone else doesn't do it the same way. There was a time when they didn't use equipment at all.
Exactly.
Yeah. And it's like you do whatever you get your best evidence with. That's your thing.
Yeah, like have Ghost Tube say knock, and then you hear a big ass bang behind you. Tell me why I said that. I don't fucking know.
Right?
And it's a whole different feeling going inside of these places too, though. Like you're excited when you're driving there, and then when you get there by yourself,
it's like either dread or electricity sets in. Like it's either one of the two.
I heard this story, but there was one time, I think I just started a job. I don't know which one it was, but they were offering bonus pay if you're there for a month. You get like 3,500 sign-on bonus, whatever.
That's hell yeah.
It was a blizzard. I was going towards Ohio. The blizzard started. I quit that job. I was there for like 2 weeks. I was like, about that shit. I don't know how much I had. I was about like 4K. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go here, and I'm gonna double. I'm gonna do 2 at Fairfield. I'm gonna do 2 at Madison, and then I did 2 or 3 more. I was like, I ain't driving back in this fucking weather.
Yeah, hell no, dude.
I was the only car out there. It was fucking, that snow was about like 5 feet deep.
Fuck that.
God.
I believe it too.
I was the only car, and I sat there, turned on my flashers. I got out of the car, and it was like snowing. I fucking love when it's winter. And I got out of the car, just started walking for like 5 to 10 minutes, and then just got back in the car, continued driving. I pulled up to that location, got inside. It was all dark. I was like, how we gonna do this? Where do we go?
Shit.
But shit, I'm telling you, I left that job. I was like, look, we're about to do 6-7 investigations. I'll find something that I'm urgently hiring tomorrow night or once I get back here to Maryland. I was that much into it where it's like, it's an addiction. Like,
dude, it literally is.
We went to Fairfield the first time. I didn't want to leave. I did not want to leave that place. I just started crying. Like, I don't know what was going on. And then I came back the next day. It was just a lot.
Do you ever feel like you have attachments from some of these places that you've been? We believe that we have an attachment that follows us around now, and it's almost been documented.
After that wreck happened, I still think that same attachment is with us because
There's
we've never been cleansed. We never went to somebody
to get.
Everyone,
not constantly, but every once in a while there'll be something that'll happen or something that'll make a noise or something random, and it's like, and it'll just put that automatic in your head before you can even process it. It'll just make you think, it was weird, and it's connected to somewhere else just out of nowhere.
And we don't even I don't wear any protection when we go to these locations.
We don't either.
I don't even say, don't follow me home. Not on purpose. Like,
we forget.
Trained, and I just you're so dreaded, like you just forget to say it. But I still think that there's something negative, definitely.
Yep. Literally, our last investigation, we're on the way home, and I go, where were we? Like halfway home, I go, dude, we didn't say don't follow us. And all night we're like, use our energy.
Yeah, I was like, come on, like touch me, and then
hug me.
I'm pretty sure like something with a really creepy voice said something to us at an EVP that like had me going, ah, fuck, I might leave. Like there was like Riley, like legitimately when I was walking away from you guys, like heading down the stairs, there was a part of me where I was like, am I in danger? Like, am I? And I was like, no, everybody's here. I don't think I'm gonna get physically affected. I didn't, but it was like the whole night that we had investigating last week was insane.
Definitely. Shout out.
Mm-hmm.
Randy's Real,
Paranormal.
Tombstone.
Much love, Emma Jane.
Shout out to everybody that's in the chat now too.
Yeah.
We see you.
Everyone
We
that
love
joined
you.
it, we love you. Thank you.
That's an alternative one out.
And of course, if anyone in the chat has questions, like throw them in.
Of course.
We'll answer them. Of course.
I'm in danger. I love that.
That was the night where I started provoking. No, I think right.
With the chair, yeah, because we went to Wildwood the next night.
Yeah, all right.
You and
Well,
Joker
just
both
to get
were
this
provoking.
accident out the way and stuff, because I know
Yeah.
my anxiety is gonna start.
Yeah, I was just say like if you don't feel comfortable saying something either, don't
That's
worry.
just
We won't
crazy.
push.
It's that when I talk about it and the people that are in chat, besides my people, when you watch that Trail to Terror, like that I pinned it, you'll see how everything makes sense.
Before
you have to
get
watch
into
that.
dates and everything,
Mm-hmm.
right before the accident, we were sitting in the truck in the parking lot, and the both of us, like, there was just this, like you said something about attachments or whatever's kind of strange.
Yeah.
And then you mentioned the accident. We both like just had this gut feeling that just literally the things we were talking about all the way exactly down to us getting hit. Literally, like when I told him, you know, he had fell asleep, and I said, you know, in my head it just kept playing, don't go to sleep, something's gonna happen, don't go to sleep, something's gonna happen, don't close your eyes, something's gonna happen. As soon as I closed my eyes, we got hit.
Wow.
And the crazy thing is that she was pregnant at the time, and the craziest thing I've done when it comes to this paranormal field is going back to one of these out of the two locations a month after the wreck. It was a month anniversary after the wreck, and we went to the Wildwood. Here was Wildwood Sanitarium. But long story short, it was the August 11th. That was our first time at Hinsdale, and that was provoking. When I mean really bad, I was in the basement saying the nastiest things you can possibly think of.
Right.
And then we'll leave the place. Alternator goes out.
The alternator in the truck went out.
Not
even 10 minutes from Hinsdale.
Whoa.
And when it comes to like car accidents and everything, we didn't find out like that it happens. Like whoever investigates Hinsdale and you provoke, it's a common thing where car accidents happen, but we didn't know any of that until we returned to Hinsdale the last time. And then what was it, August 30th, we were at Wildwood. That's when that whole, it said demon baby, give me, what does this say, something? It's on a video. It's conquering the sanitarium.
Yeah.
It was like saying like you said, demon baby, and I'm gonna keep it. And
we were in the
Holy
basement. And we had the flashlight on the table, and it was in the basement. The flashlight went on by itself, and there's no vibrations down there, anything like that. So that happened, and then August 31st, right the next day after Wildwood, we go back to Hinsdale. I don't know what happened then. I think we attempted.
No, I was in the woods by myself.
Yes, and that's when the whole Ouija board thing happened.
Holy hell, guys.
I don't know how to use one and stuff, just FYI.
Right.
Well, that's right there is where you need to, like, the second time we went to Hinsdale, I was in the woods behind Hinsdale on live, and he was inside the house on live. It started pouring down crazy rain, so I come down and went in the house, and that's when the Ouija board and stuff come into play.
Yeah.
Now, whenever we had the wreck, the Ouija board we had in there inside Hinsdale was behind the driver's seat where he was sitting.
Mm-hmm.
Go on ahead.
So we went back to Wildwood September 1st.
Mm-hmm.
That was the next day after returning to Hinsdale for the second time.
Mm-hmm.
That was the conquering, where we got the answers with the flashlight.
That was after the wreck. That would be this one. when we
Oh,
went
that's
back
the
after
October
the
24th, and it happened September 24th of last
Mhm.
year. Okay. Yeah, September 18th. That was the day before my birthday. We had an apartment investigation. I remember she was doing an Estes on the couch, and it says "Demon Baby Mine."
Yes.
That we did catch. It's still on.
the
It's on the
same things that
channel.
came through Hinsdale and Wildwood.
That's
September,
incredible.
what is this? September 23rd, we went to Selma Mansion, and we were going there. We were literally right in front of it. There was a traffic light that turned green, and I started going, and this car on the right side flew by, and it was this close of hitting us.
Mhm.
That was the one crazy part. It was right there that we almost got hit,
Yeah.
like right in front of the place.
We were in front of Selma Mansion. Like
And
in
then
front of it.
Damn.
the next day, which is the 24th, that's when we got hit by that semi. And
we left Selma Mansion. We came here and got drinks and everything because we were heading out to Tennessee because we were going to we were driving to Tennessee to get ready to investigate Old South Pittsburgh Hospital.
Okay, yeah.
And we made it 2 hours from his house in Maryland. So we literally went from Selma Mansion to here to his house to the wreck.
And
Yeah,
that's when
starting.
we were going to Tennessee. That's when I was going 100 miles an hour. And then I slowed down about maybe 75, 80. That's when it was the back left tire started coming off. I see something sparking behind me.
Oh man,
I'm like, what the hell is this? I don't know how I controlled the car or whatever, but I pulled up an emergency lane. Woke up, I didn't even feel getting hit. She said, she woke up and said, "Are you bleeding? Did we just get hit?" I didn't feel anything.
I was looking up at you, and I said, "I think we just got hit," because I was in the floorboard.
I was looking for my cigarettes right away. I was like, "What is going on?"
Holy shit!
And
but first, you just got sidetracked, babe. The tire came off of the like. I had a Ford Edge. You seen it in the pictures.
Yeah, it ripped off the axle.
Every single lug nut came off, but none of the lug nut posts were broke.
That's fucking weird.
There was 3 scratches in front of the car too.
On the driver door where he was sitting in the driver's seat, where the semi hit from like the back to the front. And there's like you would think everything would go from I'm out of camera, so I'm sitting here talking on my head.
You're good.
From back to front, so everything was pushed back to front.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
There were 3 scratch marks that went from front to back from the driver door up to where the window is where he was sitting.
And also, at that time when the wreck happened, the Ouija board was in the car in the back.
And behind the driver's seat.
Oh,
yeah,
that's weird.
And the reason, how we got hit was when the tire came off, we were parked in the emergency lane with the emergency flashers on.
And then you guys got hit.
Yes, got hit by the semi.
That's insane.
And then October 24th, that was the month anniversary. We went back.
You had ate. You had ate, and we were sitting there, and you said that you were going to go back to sleep, and I said, well, I'm not going to go to sleep because I just have a feeling something's going to happen.
Yeah, the semis were going by so fast, and the car was
just like the
car was moving and everything, and I was like, if I fall asleep, something's going to happen.
And I said the same thing. I said, I just know if I close my eyes, and I had just closed my eyes. I wasn't even asleep. The next thing I know, I'm on the floorboard. It's like, it sounded like to me like a tin can, like rolled down the road. That's what it sounded like to me. I mean, I don't know if it was like shock or what, but I didn't feel the impact. I just myself hit the floorboard.
That is some Final Destination stuff, honestly.
Spotted ghosts, much love.
Spotted ghosts.
And that's weird that he said that, because when we were sitting in the parking lot in between going to Selma Mansion, and I told you we came here to get drinks and everything, and then we headed out to Tennessee. We were sitting out here outside of his house in the parking lot, and he said, I feel like this is going to be like Final Destination. I don't know why. I just feel like that.
People talk about those apps that, they don't believe those apps.
Oh, my God.
And
my homie.
Yeah, she went to go pee and stuff. We parked over there.
I will not use Spirit Talker anymore because of this, by the way.
As soon as she went to go pee, it said Spirit Talker said it's not safe here. I think it said that.
It's not safe here, and then it said.
And then a wreck happened. Was that 2 hours, 3 hours later?
It said it's not. We just turned it on just because we were bored.
It's about 6:20.
It said it's not safe here, and then it said, what was the next thing it said? It said something else related to that. It was it's not safe here.
I don't know what else to say. It should be in the dictionary still somewhere in
I
there.
don't have it anymore.
You know what's insane is Spirit Talker at my house after an investigation basically informed me that I had somebody looking through my windows because we were
Yep.
sitting outside and I was showing my mother-in-law the app with my wife, and it was like I think it said something like I'm watching you, and then it said like window, and then it said like skinwalker. And well, I looked back on my security camera, and the day we got back from the investigation and the next day when it told me this, I looked at the camera. Some dude that morning was peeping through our windows at my house.
Isn't it crazy? I have not used Spirit Talker since then, and I'm like, and it's not because it's not, you know, worthy or anything. It's like that was too damn legit at the time, you know, situation. That
Yeah.
no.
Well, and even like with the skinwalker thing, like I believe in that legend around here because Native American lore is very prevalent around these parts in the Great Lakes. And my wife and I had got back from an investigation where it was talking about skinwalkers on the investigation as well too. And then a couple of days later, she was outside and there was a possum on our porch, and she was like shoo, like go away, Mr. Possum. And then something mimicked her like twice, and you can hear it on the camera. It's super faint, but when I like put it on like my computer and turn it up, you can hear it, and it's like, what the fuck is that?
Right.
I need to start doing EVPs more. I don't know.
So do we. We just had a
Take
rude
out the
awakening with
flashlight
that.
and everything that I use. I don't know. It's not that I don't want to do it, but I don't think about it at that moment.
You get them like chills and that deep like satisfaction from hearing a disembodied voice just like answer your question. Dude, it is though. It really is satisfying.
It is. Especially when it's super clear and it's intelligent. You know exactly what it's saying.
Well, we
Or
have
multiple
the
things.
Ghost Stop watch, the EVP watch thing from Ghost Stop, but we hadn't used it yet.
How do you guys get a lot of your equipment from Ghost Stop, or is it like from where you can get it from, you know?
We only have, what do we have from Ghost Stop? Just the Flux. No, we just got those two things from Ghost Stop.
Yeah.
And we're working on getting that for the next paid location, which
in
a couple months. We plan on getting that before we go to a paid location next time.
That'll be sick.
SOS.
But
now the ghost tube lens that you put
on the glasses, like
those are cool. Yeah,
it's what Paranormal Quest uses.
Yeah, Paranormal Quest has those. Those are sick.
Amy's Crypt is who made it. Amy and Jared. They made Ghost Tube too.
I believe Ghost Tube too. Like even with Spirit Talker, and I believe the validity in that wholeheartedly, and I'll put all of my stock in that. But like even Ghost Tube seems like it's been pretty useful for us as a tool because it will line up with Spirit Talker, and then we'll have like a third thing go off, and it's like, yeah, okay, I don't think they're just selling me shit. Like I legitimately think that they're like helping the market and us paranormal investigators that are financially less endowed than these people that are making money off their channels and doing well enough to like fund it.
It's hard and stuff when it's self-funded. I mean, some of these locations, people got to understand, it's a lot. I mean, you got to do gas and
potentially
we got to start flying and stuff to these places because there's going to be 17.
Had all of them that we've been to so far. We've stayed and we've actually slept at almost all the locations just to sleep after the investigation to rest to head back.
That's basically what we've been saying.
But these 17, 18-hour car drives, I mean, it'll be easier to fly there and rent a car somewhere than to just drive over there.
Is that who made Ghost Tube? I mean, is that who made Spirit Talker?
Yeah, Spotted Ghost is, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
He's the man.
Yeah, we're trying to get him on the show eventually.
That's me that said that I'm not never turning it on again, but that's
I think it's fate. I do believe that it's a weird fate.
I can't not make myself download that. I can't make myself listen to it, and I just explained why.
There's certain things that like if I'm on in a location where if I get very uneasy and like I feel almost like alarmed, then I think there's like certain things that I'll probably be like, I'm not gonna do that right now. Like I don't feel comfortable doing that. Like it's not like it's like you're a chicken shit kind of thing. It's more of like I'm gonna be respectful, and I know what my limit is mentally before if I see something or hear something that really fucks with me, and I'm never gonna do this again at all.
Yeah. Like, I don't think we haven't got anything that's like true. I think you might have got a little taste of that
A
last
little,
weekend,
yeah.
to where it was like, we got to leave now. But like, I haven't had that feeling myself. Definitely felt like uncomfortable in spots
Mhm.
where I was like, I'm definitely not alone right now. Like, and I know
I
that
love
for a
that
fact.
feeling.
Well, we left Monroe House because I explained to you how I was in Estes and I felt like something like touched down me, and
Yeah.
like I was in a separate like off. I was like off in a. He had me off in a cubby hole somewhere, and I come out and I was like trying to find him like automatically because it freaked me out obviously, and at that same time like he was at. I had no clue, and I was looking for him, and at that same time he was like moving his head like this because something was on his neck. And it's like, whoo, yep, okay, that's a little bit too much.
Yeah, there's a lot going on right now.
But what did he say? Have started again. It was just like too fitting at that time and the situation at that moment because it did say you're not safe here, and I think it said you need to move or something like that.
We've
Well, we
got
do.
it said some really crazy stuff for us that was like spot on. Like in the video that we have coming up pretty soon, we might have got like one of the craziest answers. And
It
I didn't
basically
know the
told
app could
us.
say this many words. Maybe he can confirm this, but like it was saying like 6 or 7 words at a time.
It also gave us a name that pertained to a person that lived there, and it was the first original person that owned the property. And it's like, yeah, tell me how that coincidence happens. And especially a name like Ludwig.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what?
There.
Like, how is that a coincidence? It's not. It's literally a fact now.
Right. Now, I do think there are some randomness that do come through all of the apps.
Yeah, I
don't know
think
if
it's
that's-
inevitable,
I don't know if
though.
that's part of like it's still running or it's still just,
I think about it like this. Like, if you're getting like what seems like jumbled stuff, it might be, but it's also like there's theories out there like we're bouncing off other dimensions and we're like getting like the ripple effects of other things, or it's just other spirits that are just passing by and we're hearing the very minimal of like whatever that is.
Well, it could sound like that too. If they're on different frequencies, it could sound like
Mhm.
whatever's coming through there,
Yeah,
know.
or however energy is transferred, it could translate to whatever it needs to. I guess like
Yeah.
like I said, I'm no expert. I just know how it works in my head.
Right. Exactly. I know that damn thing said you're not safe here, and we got
I know, I
contact
can
in
tell
a
you
couple hours
exactly.
later,
I can tell you what it said. That's for damn sure.
and I can tell you what happened afterwards.
Yeah. That's where I'm at with it. Like if it lines up, like it just gives me the
The
chills.
heebies. So, how many times have you guys gone to a location and done it multiple times, but more than once have you had like encounters of nothing, where it's just there's nothing happening and there's barely any
I'll
evidence?
be honest with you and stuff. There's not one location that we've done that we haven't got any evidence at all.
That's
be-
good though.
being
That
honest.
that
Even
on,
if it
to
was
me
not
it makes me
just
think
at
that you
that
guys are
mall.
closer to the veil because of even maybe what happened. Like I almost think near death experiences
think
push you closer to that.
That's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking because, man, we were at that asylum was a couple days ago. Telling you, man, it's a pain in the ass to get through those woods.
I bet.
Those woods are crazy, especially in the summer. I still got these whatever the
We
hell
are
they
both covered in chiggers so bad. They're on my arms, on my back. My whole legs are covered. His feet and legs are covered. Oh man, it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
the things you do to go.
Yeah, all them pickers, man, they fucking hurt.
Yeah.
And like when it comes to these big YouTubers, like most of them go to these locations and stuff, I guess for the evidence and stuff. But with getting like evidence, the way I've done it, every single location is you have to know like the full history to the place, so you know what to ask, and how to approach it, and everything like that.
That's almost the best part is getting to learn the history of these places that you get to experience.
Yeah, like all these places we've been to, where I plan on doing a return to terror to them, but when it comes to return to terror, the thing I have coming out tomorrow is, I didn't want to say it, but I'll schedule a premiere tomorrow. We're doing a series, Alone and Stranded, I'm going to call it.
Oh,
I'm gonna
shit.
put a trailer tomorrow, and even if we got to go back to the same place that I've just premiered, I mean, that's all we can do at the moment because
We have not, no, since we have been together and since we've been investigating together, we have not been solo.
You're not coming off the wrong way, Spot Ghost. We're with you.
no,
We're with
not
you,
at
brother.
all.
We just
I
love your app.
love that though. Like,
It kind of
Like-
played into our story though. That
No,
the
yeah.
spirit talker
The
did.
funny thing is we were talking about you before you even jumped on. So it just like it was so relevant. It was kind of wild.
Mhm.
but this Stranded series, I'm excited for this. 100%.
Well,
It
we're
sounds
limited with
lit.
places. I mean, I was thinking like because we plan on this supposed to start on my birthday on the 19th. That's
Yeah.
when we're supposed to go, but I was also thinking Gettysburg, but it's like it wouldn't be as entertaining as like being in an asylum because you're alone outside, and I don't think like you're limited to getting any evidence basically only through like maybe the S box because I don't trust using a REM pod outside
Right.
because of the wind situation with the
And
antenna
bugs.
and everything
And
like that.
bugs.
Yeah, if a bug
that
hits it
too.
just right.
And you're limited when it comes to using equipment. So I mean, this
Cat balls
place-
are good outside.
Yeah, the reason I picked this asylum, I mean, it has over, I think 9+ buildings over there. So
Damn, that's a big compound.
That's yeah.
we're trying to make content up until we move, and then we'll start going to other locations and back to these paid locations. But I'm doing what I can right now, and
Yeah.
I'm
content
really
is content,
nervous.
I guess.
That's what we say. That's why our bread and butter has been cemeteries and whatnot.
She ran into. Sit.
Yeah, because cemeteries are like those investigations. You don't have to pay. They're usually quick travel. You usually catch something pretty crazy.
You can find about 100 of them.
There's cool stories to uncover. You know what I mean? So like, it's endless. There's so many opportunities at cemeteries or like abandoned locations that you can just go to.
Yeah, sometimes abandoned places are more haunted than these paid locations.
I wholeheartedly believe that you go to some location where nobody's ever investigated before, and they go, "Okay, let's just try it." Like I'm not expecting anything, and then you have one of the craziest like experiences of your life, and you're like, "It's probably because, oh, every entity that is residing here wants to be fucking seen because nobody's tried to do this before, and finally somebody is."
That's my thought on it too. Is they finally get to get their voice out.
Yeah. Well, I'm kind of nervous about his whole situation here that he's planning up because I haven't been alone yet at all
It
with myself.
it can for personally, I would say it can get overwhelming, especially if you start getting a lot of activity all at once, because then it's like
You have nowhere to
I
go.
mean, it's
Yeah.
the stuff. I got into like that idea because of this whole, Omar series going on or whatever.
Yeah,
but
that
Yeah.
series
this
is
whole
sick.
title is like 16 YouTubers. I was just gonna put like 3 investigators, 9+ buildings. I was just gonna change it around, like do it in be creative about it and stuff, and do a little bit different than how we did it. Because like I said, I can't edit worth shit though, so I put it
Right.
together the best way I know how to put it.
I mean, as long as you get it into a timeline and it's in chronological order, I don't think anybody can complain.
Right. I just want to see it as it happened. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Because
that
like
can be-
regardless, you're catching crazy fucking shit.
Yeah, that can be for paid locations. I'm gonna continue that series because when we go together, I told her with 5 or 10 minutes before we get there, I'm just blindfold her. Like she won't know where we're going.
I love that though.
Just bring her inside of the location, not take off the blindfold, but get her in an Estes right away.
Yep.
See what responses she gets before I tell her the name of the location where we're at.
Mm.
Yeah, because like you explained, when I go under Estes, it's like I can't unless something physically touches me that's not. How do I explain it? Unless something
It's
dark,
like jarring enough to pull you out of it.
It's
something
like
darker per se, like
Yeah.
touching me or something, I can't pull myself out.
Yeah.
And I
it's
don't know
almost
what
like
goes
the
on
white
me.
noise puts your like mental state in a complete like trance.
I go into like a fucking coma is how I feel because I'll like
If you
drift
watch
off
some
and
of
like
the-
see shit.
If you watch some of the videos of him trying to get me out, like it takes him like a good couple minutes to get me out of there. Sometimes he like shakes me. There's some of them I sit there and crack up because
Yeah,
he
Riley just hits me a bunch until I'm like, what?
Dude,
What?
he'll sit
It's
there and
what's
mess with my
crazy
nose
is
and my face, and I'm like, I didn't know you were doing that.
when you have someone under the Estes method and everything else around them is going off and they have no idea, and then they're saying
That's so
relevant
great.
shit, and it's just like, what the fuck is going
So
on right now?
oblivious to the world, but everybody's like shitting their pants and like,
Yeah,
oh my
and they're just like
God!
this.
That sounds like you
Pineapples.
The music box went off.
Bananas. They have no idea what's happening.
And he'll say, "Hey, go touch her hair or pull her hair or something like that." And I won't see it until you guys do.
It's literally my go-to lately has been, hey, can I have a hug?
Yeah.
Like, it's just, that's been my go-to. That's been my way of provoking is like, I love you guys. Just like, give me a hug. We're going to try the hippie movement. Everybody loves hugging, I think. I don't know.
Hey, I think it's been working for us. The
I think so,
the
too.
inviting feel is like inviting. It might invite the wrong thing to us eventually, but
Maybe,
we don't know
yeah.
about that,
If I'm
so.
being too sweet and like all of a sudden a very dark entity's like, I'm
Demon
going to
tries
fuck
to be
this
sweet
kid.
on you.
No lube. Fuck him.
Oh my god.
It's just raw. Because that's what we got here is raw investigating, and it's fucking real. And I appreciate that so much. I feel like there's a lot of it that is just nobody else does it enough anymore. Like I
just
think
don't
we do get
understand
guilty
how,
of
like,
it.
these big YouTubers can go in there like faking it and everything. That's like saying, for example, one of their family members died and somebody investigated their house, and them saying, "Oh, oh, your mom did this," or we got in contact with this family member, but it really didn't like happen and stuff like that. I don't know.
It's so disrespectful.
It's
Yeah.
like they wouldn't want somebody, "Oh, you just disrespected my mother,"
Yeah.
and stuff. It's just a lot.
That's where the paranormal world gets with like a really gray line, right? Like there's like an unspoken rule that you don't investigate like recent things.
Yeah.
Like you just don't.
And then it's like you make
stick to the
stuff
stuff that like either no one knows enough about to where you can break open some type of cool history, or like
and they get all this like support, like these big YouTubers, like you grow a fan base and you sit there, you tell people you care and you love them and stuff, but it's like at the same time, if you love them and respected them, then you would have been your true self and like provided content that's like legit and not like sit there and put out that content. I don't know.
What's crazy is watching this Alone series. You see some of these that are alone and they're scared out of their pants because why? Because a couple of them are not so honest when they're investigating out in the field. So when something really happens, they're like, "Oh shit, what am I going to do now?"
Yeah, I never liked Omar anyway, but I mean, if I want to be honest, the Alone series, I mean, it's well put. It's really like
It's a cookie. It's like the cookie cutter stuff where it's
nice
like everybody
editing, but-
has good ideas, but we all are doing the
It's-
same exact thing.
the reason I like it is it's a new spin on
Mhm.
things. Like, a lot of the channels that are out there, it's groups. It isn't just one single person. Like Exploring with Josh might be the exception on that, but he still has a camera guy with them and stuff usually.
Yeah, I don't
Or
believe
Kalani.
Exploring with Josh, that's a little bit iffy. Kalani's, I know Kalani is legit. Paranormal Quest, definitely, but I don't know about this. Jasco, that's 100% I disagree, along with Twin Paranormal and what are they called? Paranormal, is that Nightmare TV or something? I think they're legit.
Yeah. Paranormal Nightmare.
Amy's Crypt, definitely.
They're legit, yeah.
Project Fear, that's the show that I watch. That's my favorite paranormal team. That's never gonna change.
They are rock.
They know what
stars.
they're doing for sure. I definitely
They
have
are
heard
absolute
some
rock
crazy
stars.
shit lately that's like say like Ghost Adventures. They'll go to locations, they'll film in there for 2 hours and then they'll leave. Is what I've been hearing lately from a couple of
heard
different
some crazy
sources.
stuff.
And it's like some of these sources are pretty credible. So I'm like, if that's true, like that's sad because that's where I grew up and that's where I got all of my, like, hey, I think maybe one day I could try this because I think they're doing a good job making it cool. But then you go out there and do it and you're like, this is so much different from what the TV really shows what it is.
Yeah. And I encourage everyone to like
Try
if you're
it.
interested in the paranormal and you haven't done a ghost investigation, like find someone. I guarantee you there's a YouTuber that's local to you that does this stuff. And if
Yeah.
you reached out to him and was like, hey, I really want to like go on an investigation with you, let's make it happen, it probably happened.
Yeah.
Well, on Project
Not
Fear,
even that, or just go pay and go to a location. Like
Project
that
Fear,
dude just go spend the
Dakota
night in the cemetery.
says the things the TV wouldn't let them do too. Like
Yeah.
when they were on Destination Fear, he's like, "Well, we could do this because we were on TV. You know, like use the spirit box." That he said they couldn't use the spirit box on TV.
Yeah, it makes sense. Me and Riley have been very, very steadfast about how if we were to sign with any label or anything that wants the podcast and it wants to like promote us or do anything in that regard, we have full creative, like it's our entity, our creation. Like we don't let you edit any of it. Like it's all us. Like you can just do put your, you know, like Whatgoesbump is on.
Put your money
like,
in us.
This exact basically,
Put your
and
stock
it's
on
like
us. Put your money on us, we'll take care of
we'll
the
make
rest.
your company more money by making your company bigger. Like, but I will not give you any creative control. Fuck that.
Yeah, that's why we always stick with us two mostly. I mean, sometimes we have Paul coming with us, but the less people you have, the better. Like you have advantage of getting evidence because I mean, the spirits don't feel threatened and stuff. That's why I can investigate with maybe
We've
4
noticed that in
people
some
tops
places.
altogether.
Yeah, that's what we've been noticing a lot more lately. Is the smaller the group, it seems the more intimate the responses are, and the more crazy shit that happens.
You gotta pay a little bit more though, but at the same time, I mean,
it's worth it. It really is worth it at the end.
And you don't have to worry about what
in the
somebody
end,
else is
even if
doing,
I was to like
contaminating evidence.
Like even if I was to go to any of these locations that cost like $1,000 or $1,200 just to go to them, just the experience to go there and like be there and walk around is worth the money to me.
I mean, fuck, what I'd love nothing more than to do this as a profession and continually be able to do this. Even if I worked a full-time job, but on the weekends, be able to pay for trips to collab with a group and bring them to a location with us. Like, that would be seriously the fucking coolest thing ever.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, that seems intimate enough where it's like, it's me, Riley, and then a camera person, and then we have a group of 2 or 3, and it's like, to us, that's about the same size that we usually have, and we catch most of our evidence in. So, to me, that just sounds awesome.
yeah.
It's just when you get too many people, you're worried about, there's the evidence, you can't concentrate, and just too much going on, and
it does get chaotic when you have more minds in a building.
It really does.
Especially like what we always struggle with is the producer side of us and the like paranormal enthusiastic side of us, to where it's like sometimes neither of us just don't want to film because we just want to be in the moment and like have an experience and not be worried about capturing it on camera. And like we've had plenty of times where something happened and it wasn't caught, and it was like even crazier because like it's only a story now.
Yeah, that's why I don't go in these locations expecting anything really. You go in there expecting, oh, we're gonna get this because we get evidence on all these other 50 to 75 locations,
and then you get disappointed.
Just go in there and ask questions that goes with the story and to go from there. It's just I don't know.
We always go into locations and be like, we're going to be unapologetically ourselves. And like, we're going to treat these entities or these spirits just like we would treat another living person. Because that's what feels right.
Exactly. And like, we always explain it to the spirits that we're only here to document life after death and the story that you're going to provide to us. Like we want to know about you. We want to know what it was like when you were alive, to the best of your ability that you can explain it to us, because we know it's going to be a jumbled up jigsaw puzzle to complete. But at the end of the night, when you finally do put a story together, it's like, wow, I can't believe like that makes way more sense. Or like, wow, that proves that all the ghost stories about this place are real because we caught it for ourselves. Like that's like the whole mission behind all of this, I feel like.
Yeah.
Do you guys believe in aliens?
I would have to go with no with that one.
I don't know.
Oh, really?
Hard no? Ooh.
Unless I see a UFO above my head at some point, then I will. But other than that, I gotta experience that.
I don't
Understandably.
know if I believe in it or not. I think they're skinwalkers. Is that an alien?
That's a good question.
That is, there's a
There is a
Ooh.
theory out there that it could be extraterrestrial.
Do you believe in puck wedgies?
I don't even know if I know what a puckwudgie is. I
I've heard of
believe
it.
in
I have no idea what it
cryptids.
is.
Like I believe in Bigfoot and like all those other type of legends. Only because I think that Bigfoot's a fucking alien.
I have a picture of one when I was in the woods at Hinsdale, and it was peeping around the tree at me, and I didn't even know it. It was caught in the live stream.
That's pretty fucking cool. I'm not gonna lie.
I gotta find it.
That's pretty nuts.
Yeah, because
I was
I
just
like
sitting there,
personally,
like-
I'm like cryptics are cool, but like some of them are bullshit. But like some of them, I definitely believe are very.
What about like Loch
believable.
Ness? Loch Ness monster,
That's
or
kinda like
just
Bigfoot,
dinosaurs?
though.
Dinosaurs existing. because
Dinosaurs do exist. They still are alive. They're just under the permafrost in Antarctica.
I recently had a
What?
theory. That what if dinosaurs never died? Like they just could live forever.
Dude.
I think. Well, look at turtles. Turtles kind of look like dinosaurs. I mean,
Shit. They also people make the argument like, why are monkeys still around if we evolved from apes? Well, I have no fucking idea, and I'm not a scientist, but
maybe not all of them evolved.
that and or like over time
Oh my gosh! You know what? I just
we were
noticed?
all placed here by aliens.
Anunnaki. Do you know about the
Thumbnail.
Anunnaki? G?
Anunnaki's pretty crazy.
I don't know what that is, bro.
You don't know what the Anunnaki is, man.
I'm just a paranormal investigator. Bro. I said, I don't
Man,
know.
I can't wait till I announce our November lineup because we have like a ancient civilization historian on the show. But like the Anunnaki is believed to be the civilization of aliens.
Historian, is it Drew? Maybe.
There's
That brought
hieroglyphs
the
and
human-
other
yeah.
things that
There's
really point
hieroglyphs that
towards it.
that depict them.
The fuck?
Can you see it
Uh,
peeping around the tree?
It's hard to make out because the phone is like it overexposes it on the fucking camera lens for
Yeah.
us.
It's like right. Where's my finger? There. And you
That
see
does
ear?
look like something, yeah.
There you go. Does it look better now? It looks kind of like
Oh.
Baby Yoda, sort of.
oh,
Yeah, it does kind of
it
look
looks like a plague mask.
or a demon.
Right. And little ears sticking up. And it's like I was looking in the direction of it because I was hearing something behind me.
That is pretty fucking weird though.
What
That
I
is
just
weird.
noticed is so strange. And I just showed him.
Could it be Zozo, man?
Fuck.
There's the thumbnail. That's the thumbnail he made me on that same exact tree before we even went.
Get the fuck out of here, really?
Oh, that.
Yes.
Whoa.
That's
Isn't that
actually
weird? I just
gnarly as
noticed that.
fuck.
I just now
That is
noticed
weird.
that.
See, coincidence? I think not.
Right?
That's my favorite part of being a content creator is the thumbnails. I love doing thumbnails.
Honestly, like I just love every part of like making the video itself and content creation because it's like having that creative medium is seriously so great. Because it's like
Fun.
if
Yeah,
you want to
learn new
veg
things
out,
each time we do it.
like I know Riley can attest where it's like there's been many a day where it's like we'll get home. It's like, what do I want to do today? Do I want to play video games with a bunch of assholes that are going to yell about how you didn't do this, that, or right, or something bullshit? And then at the end of the day, it's like, I didn't do anything that I can take away from it that was worth my time. But then you like create this video and you're like, wow, I made somebody's day better because I gave them something to watch and they enjoyed it. And I had a hand in making that. Like, that's fucking sick.
Yeah.
Or you made them terrified and they don't
That
can't
too.
sleep at night.
Yeah. People sitting there watching it and they're all like stuck up in their chair and like, oh my God.
I know a lot of people that they're like, I'll never do that. Like I'm
Yeah.
way too anxious. Like there's no
Oh
way
my
I
God.
could.
Oh, the scratches that he was or we were telling you guys about?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You see the bottom of the door, right?
Yeah.
Where's my finger? Right there. See the
Yeah.
three? Good. That's going up towards the driver window.
That is really weird.
Then you seen the side of the truck that
Interesting.
got hit. The impact was from back to front, and that was from front to going back.
Yeah, and I mean, even if it's say like not like a like something ripped those holes and the car did it, a 3 is still a marking of the Trinity, and there's a Ouija board in the back seat. And I know like a lot of people are like, I don't know how much I believe in religion, things in that nature, but if demons are real, like that that could be like, hey, like that's a marking.
Yeah,
You
and
know
the
what's
fact
even
that
more
there's
crazy?
the stories of the accidents, I think that is
Yeah, and everything
wild
lining
too.
up the way it is, like that's super crazy.
You seen the pictures of the driver's side, right?
Yeah,
This is the passenger side after the wreck.
that's so crazy.
Not one scratch,
I
nothing.
was gonna say it's still in literally like great shape. Like what the fuck? And the Ouija board was on the driver's side.
Behind his seat in the little pouch. There's actually a video. Is the video still on your
Bro.
channel? When
The
we went
video
back
is on that documentary though.
of the inside,
At the end of it though.
at the end of it, when we went back, he
End of
went
the
back
video.
and got in the rental car, and I took a video of what it looked like inside, and I walked around the outside, and then I even went inside with the video so you could see where he was sitting, like the how the seat was like laid, like the seat laid back, where he like you could see the view from where he was sitting inside there, and how the corner of the driver door, which would have been the top left corner, was folded down inside the truck, where that's what got his face. And you can see it like from his view, and so much glass. Oh my gosh, the glass. It was so crazy. And on the road, it was just like I don't know where we was picking glass off of us for like 2 weeks, and then out of our stuff it was just like
Yeah.
glass because it all the windows were closed. So when we got hit, everything inside, like all the windows exploded.
So there we go with
But
the
they didn't go
trolls.
out.
Oh, there we go.
They went inside. The window, all the glass come inside on us when it exploded.
That's insane.
Troll in here too.
It was very crazy.
So we almost got hit by a semi, me and Trevor as well.
Yeah, we were very close to getting hit.
Now the crazy part is when we were driving to the junkyard to go pick up our stuff, though, there was a semi truck in front of us, and a tire popped. Their tire.
Oh, yes.
Fuck.
I was driving behind there, and he had me to drive because he was sleepy. So I was driving to go get the stuff, and I had woke him up before we got to the truck to get the stuff out because I was thinking I didn't want him to wake up and the first thing him see is a wrecked truck.
Right, yeah.
So I was woke him up ahead of time. He got woke up, he sat up, and no sooner than he like got woke up and sat up, the back tire blew out right in front of us, that semi. And I was like, oh my God. Which
Yeah,
was right as we had to turn to go to where the junkyard where my truck was.
Ay, ay, ay.
It was crazy.
That's insane.
Yep. We were on our way to what Grand Rapids,
Yeah, I think so.
and we were getting ready to take a right, and this van like crossed this it's like a highway, but it's only 55 mile per hour with stoplights and stuff. And they were crossing, and a semi came through 55, 60 miles an hour, T-boned them, and it pushed it towards us. My Durango got covered in glass. I had the window down, so a bunch of glass came through the window
It was nuts.
from the van.
Was it
And
crazy?
then I froze up. I wasn't
Yeah.
even sure what to do, because the first thing we hear is a dude get out of the van and just scream bloody murder. And we're like, oh my God, someone just died in front of
Right.
us. They didn't. I'm pretty sure the kid's alive, so that's good. But it was absolutely terrifying. I can't
Yeah.
even imagine being in the car when that happened. And
Dude, just
having to-
it's traumatizing events like that will like imprint energy. And I'm a wholehearted believer that in locations where like hospitals or in like asylums and things like that, or like Gettysburg or places like that, there's energy that lingers there because of the significance that it had helping people, or these battlegrounds, or like somebody's favorite location to be, like a beach even. Like, who's to say that you don't go investigate just a random beach and all of a sudden it's like, oh, I'm having crazy paranormal investigation
It
Right.
was
stuff
down
happening.
there.
Like prime example, like the Grand Haven Pier, dude. How many people have died on the Grand Haven Pier?
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
that's also another
or
place
just
too.
like Lake Michigan in general kills
Yeah.
a lot of people. It's a really dangerous lake. It's beautiful, but it is dangerous as well with the riptides. Like, who's to say that those places aren't haunted? Like,
Well,
shoot,
and water too. Water
just water.
carries
Yeah, that's what I
energy
was gonna go with
great.
Yeah.
that. Is
It does.
what water already does for energy, and like all the storms are literally like formed over the lake and like over bodies of big water is where storms are formed. So like, man,
I really do
sometimes
think
it's
it
just-
plays into it.
I think it does too. Whether the date you investigate, the weather that's happening, like
Yeah, it's
these
all
things,
important.
like are lining factors of like how much paranormal activity is going to happen in any particular night. Like,
You can't tell me you go to Columbine on the day that it happens, at the time that it
oh
happens.
god, dude, that's fucked.
Yeah, I know it is,
Yeah,
but
you, not me. I wouldn't.
but
want
I'm
to.
just saying,
Jesus.
like, it's like echoes of the past. It was just something that clicked into my head. I don't know why. I actually
Why?
watched
Cool shit.
I watched a documentary of it like literally yesterday. It's fucking wild. Those guys are absolutely fucking monsters. But it's just like it's
Monsters are
shit
real.
like that, dude. Like echoes from the past, where it's like in places where you wouldn't expect it to happen, like a school. But
Well, that's like locations. Like, who sat there and
Mhm.
decided they were going to investigate a bar, a random bar one day, and come to find out, oh, guess what? There's really something tapping on your shoulder, but you don't see what's there. You know?
exactly. I always say too, like if you walk into somewhere and you have this like that pressure of somebody looking at you, or that overwhelming feeling of like ominous, like whatever, who's to say that you don't get that feeling from a normal person in a room, but there's a spirit in there that's making you feel that exact same way, and you're in a room by yourself.
But
Why are
as
you
an
feeling like that? Who
investigator,
knows?
You know those feelings. You
Yeah,
know
I
them.
think a lot of
You
people
work
do
in
get
I
those.
think a
something like,
lot of
ooh.
people can resonate just with that word of a feeling. Like I literally
Mhm.
felt it last weekend when I was in that room where we actually caught footsteps. That's all I'm gonna say. But I was there by myself, and I was on TikTok live. I'm pretty sure I was standing in this room completely in the dark, and I was just like, "Yeah, I'm not alone in here." That's
Yeah, like it
100%.
doesn't feel right. You can
I'm-
tell, like people.
I might
feel-
be
like,
the
you
only
feel
living
it.
person in this room, but there's another person in here.
Like, I'm not alone.
Yeah, like I can't see them, but they're in here standing right in front of me. Like I know
I
they are.
actually would think that if you have to classify a soul as anything, it's energy. And what are spirits? Most likely energy. What is energy? It's vibrating atoms and molecules. Well, what is everything? Building blocks of everything. It's vibrating atoms and molecules all the way down to like you break it all down to like the minimalist part of what you can. And then you can't tell me that if that's the energy that we're all having come through, and that's how we're communicating with these spirits and stuff, that like we don't feel that. Like, how the fuck do we not feel that?
Right. It's like,
Right, if they're emitting like an energy ball towards you, like you're gonna fucking feel it hit you. Like you just are.
goosebumps and all your hair stand up.
Big Mac dog.
Yeah,
he literally,
exactly. That's how you feel it.
He literally said it just like I said earlier in the investigation. Like, I would love to do a place like Auschwitz, not to be
That's
disrespectful in
that's-
any means.
Him, Big Mac, that's Paul. That's who's in that premiere with us that happened last night.
I love that. Because, like, I don't think it's disrespectful. I think it's literally a piece of history. Like, if you asked me, like, what do you think of Hitler? He's a fucked guy, but is he fascinating as hell? Yes. The way his mind worked and what he was able to do was fascinating.
Right.
Like, people are going to look at me and be like, you're a fucking Nazi. And be like, no, dude, like, I'm a historian. This is what gets me into a lot of these places, is like, I will go deep into a hole of trying to find the most accurate like history we can find, because I want it to be as close to accurate as possible. Because it's like you go to a place and you get all this stuff happen, and it all goes back into where the history of the place is and all this and that. Gotta love it. Hold on, 4-year-old's talking to me.
Communicated, you could understand. You know, like why he was the way he was. The way we view it could be totally different than the way it was in his mind.
Right. And I think it's also important too, like if you're at a particular location, you got to think of the time period that you're trying to ask people questions, because they might not understand your lingo, so they don't know how to like answer you.
Mm-hmm.
So like if I'm a guy and I'm trying to talk to, a woman that passed away in the 1800s, like if I don't address her as like a
Miss.
lady,
Mm-hmm.
like she's probably not going to respond to me and be scared of me because she
Mm-hmm.
doesn't like how I'm approaching her. But if
Mm-hmm.
I approached her spirit like how someone would in her time period, most likely the responses are gonna, be more cordial.
No, I agree. Yeah. That's like languages. I've had I don't remember where we were, but like a whole different language come through the Estes, and I'm like, I don't know what this thing is
Language,
saying.
yeah. Language is really interesting because we have had Helena Benton now on the show, hauntingly. It used to be
Oh
Wolf
boy.
Holmes Paranormal. It's Hauntingly Beautiful Adventures now, I think, is her channel.
I believe so.
She's from Finland, and she speaks fluent Finnish. And she said that even when she does investigate in Finland, they'll respond in English. So I guess the spirits.
Yeah.
Her theory, and I love this theory, is that they can communicate with you however they want because they can understand. They're just an energy. They don't need language to communicate with you. They just got to use the energy that they need to use.
I mean, you're an incorporeal form at that point, like do you get this is my big thing is like, do I get access to all of the universe's big secrets and questions that I've always wanted answered? Like, does that just come to me when I die and then I turn into a spirit, or however it works? Like that
Like
is wild.
when you just walked off a minute ago, I was asking him, I was like, that would be interesting, like you said, like to be able to communicate with like Hitler's, spirit or whatever, and to understand like why he was the way he was, or what in his mind, why that was right and okay to him. Maybe
Right.
that would help everybody understand and see, like, well, maybe he wasn't this person that everybody views him as. That's just a reason to why he was the way he was.
Right.
No, but we should do something in January, February. Like, you guys should start saving up now. And we can do something right around that winter season.
I'd love to do that. In January, it'll be my birthday at the end of January, so that would be fucking sweet.
Yeah. That would be sweet.
January. Randolph County, you guys mentioned something about top 5. Randolph County Infirmary, we need to go there. We haven't been there yet. Indiana
that is definitely on the bucket list. Yeah, we're actually working on trying to find out a location coming up here before the end of the year. We haven't fully decided what we want to do. We're like stuck between like a house or what was it, a school?
Yeah, like one of the two.
Those are two things that we haven't done yet.
But then again, like in January, come that time, it's like, I'll do anything, because that's like off season where it's so hard to do investigations usually, just because like either wedding isn't permitting, like a lot of places do like slow down, and they will be like, yeah, we're not gonna have people in every weekend because like family stuff and Christmas and Thanksgiving. So it's like, yeah, I'd love to be able to, like, through the holiday seasons, be able to have content.
That's what I think is that's the best time to do that whole return to terror thing, like return to these locations that scared us, because we don't need a tour guide there. I wouldn't
think so.
I would just go right in it. Bel Air House, for example. Yeah, that's another one. That's the main one we're supposed to return to eventually.
Oh, everyone says good things about the Bel Air House. I feel like almost everyone that's been on the show has been there.
Josh and him and Big Mac that's on there went. I didn't go. I wasn't there for that one.
That's a small place. I think the Bel Air House is meant for, I think,
two. You know what's tiny?
2 people minimum, I think.
Hinsdale. Yeah. Hinsdale looks like when they're doing like the aerial pictures and like or the aerial view of
the drone shots.
It's small, isn't it?
Hinsdale's tiny in there.
Inside,
Oh my
yeah.
gosh,
Yeah.
it's so tiny.
Yeah, I didn't think it was a very big house.
No, it's not.
I'm always
It's like, what, 2 rooms?
Well, it's floors. There's like the bottom floors. Like
Oh,
the
is there
kitchen and the
floors? I didn't even
bathroom.
realize there was floors.
But yeah, and then on the upper floor is 3 bedrooms.
2 bedrooms upstairs.
There's the one by the stairs, the one beside it, and then the big one. The big one that we slept in, and the 2 little ones beside it.
That place seems fun.
Yeah,
The
there's
Didn't they
little one
find
that
like
put me in by myself, and then one beside it.
didn't they find like bodies in the yard and shit at the Hinsdale house?
Somewhere in the lake, I believe, an accident happened where something fell over a little boy. Something. What was it?
The saw, the
The saw,
sawmill.
yeah, the saw. A little boy got
Now
cut
at
in half
Fairfield,
with a
there's
saw.
bodies. At Fairfield, there's bodies out there buried standing up.
Jesus, that seems aggressive.
As much
They had
as
actual ground penetrating
Whoa.
radar to find those.
as much as Hinsdale like messed us up, I mean, I wouldn't go back there to provoke again. I would go back there because they have those kayaks now where you can
Investigate in the water.
investigate in
No
the
shit.
water and everything like that.
Mhm.
So I do want to try that out and see what happens.
I do like that because, like, it adds. Not only does it make for a cool video to be able to like kayak out on the water and like investigate out on the water.
Yeah, like
'cause
I was
not many
thinking,
people
like,
do it.
These crazy ideas, like I don't know. It's like I said, when it comes to the paranormal field, like it's nice seeing everybody doing everything a different way. But I was just thinking, like, you can put a cat ball right in front of the water, and I'll just go in the water and swim in there, maybe, and
Yeah,
that
see
would
if you like stir anything up.
Like that will give, like, to touch the cat ball and stuff. It's like an EM pump. I'll be the EM pump technically. Like,
Yeah,
you can use my energy. I'm in the water and to touch the ball, something like that. I would think of something.
yeah. No, I don't literally think that idea is bad at all. I think it's a great idea actually, because who's to say that if nobody got in the water and nothing ever happened, that it's not like the trigger is like somebody swimming, and that's
Right.
what gets the energy to move or
You're
whatever.
swimming,
to
you get
happen.
grabbed by the legs, pulled under.
That
Well,
would be
don't
fucking
forget,
You're
maybe
on
there's
terrifying.
some-
because I can't swim.
Maybe there's some bones underneath there if you go
Ew,
under the
no.
water or something.
Ugh.
I don't know.
Yeah, or you fucking pull up like a
That's what
ritual
Paul said.
doll or some bullshit,
Oh,
and you're like,
God.
okay.
Oh god.
Hey, that stuff is real. As much as I don't think it like always works, like sometimes some of those things you hear is crazy.
Mhm.
I don't know how much I believe in the whole dark magic thing and like summoning demons because I've said it time and time again. I don't believe in demons, and
So there's not a lot of people like on this platform when it comes to the paranormal field that do reenactments. Like we started doing that before, but I think we're gonna start doing it again. Like reenacting like what happened at that place, even though it's not like, I know some people see it as being disrespectful towards like the spirits. You're pretending to be sick or you're pretending not to be able to walk. It's not making fun of anybody that had those disabilities. It's just recreating those moments that will, amplify energy and that will give you the evidence that you
Yup.
came there.
That's a good way to look at it.
Stuff.
Like a familiar environment for what they're comfortable with.
Then they'll be able to trust you like faster in some situations, like stuff like that.
yeah, it definitely like with some spirits, like you definitely have to earn their trust before they're even willing to communicate with you.
Mhm.
And it's crazy like how intelligent something you can't even see is. Like it blows my mind every time we go investigate and capture like EVPs that are like direct responses or like correlate to what we ask. Like sometimes it just like it's scary, yes, but other times it's just like so exciting and it's such just like crazy adrenaline rush that I don't even know if I can really like describe it in words, honestly.
Yeah, I'm waiting to see an apparition inside of a location. That's what I'm still waiting for.
It's a whole addiction. That's what it is.
Yeah, I haven't seen like a apparition in a long time. I've seen what I think was like a shadow figure, but not like a full body apparition. Like I want to see that. I seen one when I was like in high school, but it hasn't been since then. So it's been like, over a decade.
I don't want. I think I would be okay with that, but I don't want to see something like like the things that like crawl across the ceiling and jump to the wall and then to the floor. What are they, shapeshifters or?
Shit.
I don't want to see that. I mean, I do, or something that's stuck to the ceiling with like its hands and feet, and then it's like peeking down at you upside down. Heck to the no.
I definitely think that
They're
there can be
creepers.
spirits that like are like not like say like human entities, but I don't think maybe not demons, but like who's to say that there's not like other forms of these elemental creatures that have been here like primordial times when everything was started.
Let me ask you about this, G. We have this theory that because of some experiences that we've talked about it many times on the podcast, where we have gone to a location and either on the way back from the location, sleeping, or days after, we have dreams of the location, of events that actually happened, but seeing the actual like ghost in the dream. So like Trevor's example is we were at Old Lincoln County Jail and we walked into the cell and felt like a huge electric rush on us where it made all of our hairs stand up. Never experienced that ever before, actually, anything quite like it. But
Nope.
at the same exact time, we caught an EVP that responded to our question that we asked. Well, on the way home, Trevor dreamed about that exact scenario. But at the time that it happened, instead of feeling the rush of energy, he saw the figure and felt the energy.
Yeah.
You like
Are you sure
experience
it didn't
anything?
attach to you?
I don't know. I mean, I have dreams
Maybe.
of locations that I'm pulling up to them, and
That's what I would.
before when I
think.
was
don't
smoking
know.
cigarettes or whatever, like I was lighting up a cigarette, pulled over to the location, kind of like a Tommy Tombstone thing when he arrives at the location.
Yeah.
That's all I dream about. I don't. That's about it. But I told her we were going to Monroe House. I was like, I have a bad feeling about this, and shit went down.
Man, no, you didn't have a bad feeling until we were on the way, all the way there. You were just like, man, Monroe's not going to be, it's bad, but it's, I've been there, blah, blah, blah. But when we were actually headed there, he was like, I don't know. He was like sitting there, man,
Like,
his nerves.
I got a bad feeling.
Man,
Yeah, Tommy.
God.
Tommy Tombstone swears that place is evil.
Yeah, everybody that we've talked to has said that place is fucking sketch.
I was gonna get in that crawl space up until stuff started happening upstairs because I put a ball on the table, and all I heard was like 3 thumps, like something like it sounded like a ball was going up, was bouncing up and
he
down.
set a ball on the table upstairs.
It was still set up there when we came up there, so I don't know what was that like. As soon as I asked that,
Unless somebody picked it up and fucking smacked it down 3 times real fast, like that's
I was
insane.
like, I would go in the crawl space as long as he didn't leave me by myself.
That's brave.
And he couldn't say, okay, I will not leave you by yourself. So I'm like, well, you're not going to see him ass crawl in there then. But there's actually, he actually has it cut out on the, on his channel, the Monroe House of the reason why we left.
Yeah.
You can see where I'm in a hole on Estes where I come out and I was trying to tell him what was going on while he was saying something had a hold of his neck. And actually, Paul, Big Mac that's on here, had actually screenshotted like a at the same time that he was grabbing his neck was like a white mist like manifesting towards his head.
Oh shit. Yeah, that's pretty fucking that's get out material.
Yeah, I posted a link in the chat. It's only about 9.5 minutes long, actually.
It's very manageable. I think most of our videos are like a half an hour or more usually.
Well, the one that he
definitely
posted
long
was just where he
content
flipped
bingers.
out.
Oh, is it? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Understandably, but also like, holy fuck, dude. Like, that's insane. A whole mist literally just started developing.
Mm-hmm.
I've only seen, like, those dweebs sent me a video recently where something similar to that happened, and I was like, I can't say that I know what this is. Like, it's anomalous as fuck. It literally is an anomaly. Like, I can't explain what it is at all, and it's super fucking crazy.
And Bel Air is the only location where we use sage outside, but when we use sage outside and we went back inside,
They said it got worse.
It felt like somebody was just angry at us. Like, get the fuck out of here.
You guys are fucked.
I've heard that those sage rituals do the exact opposite of what you want. I've heard
Yeah.
that. I don't
That's
know how
kind
true
of
it
how
is.
I felt about it too. Where it's like, where is this like proven? Somebody is somewhere said at one time to somebody else that you sage yourself, you're gonna be cleansed. Well, where is this like written into like factual, like legitimate knowledge? I can't say that it is, and I'm not yucking anybody's yum saying that, because it's like, if you believe that, please like continue doing that. It's fine. I don't know the validity at all. I can't
Right.
say any way I've done it, if I've ever done it, if it worked. I can't say if I don't, it doesn't, because we don't really ever do it. So
Yeah, that place. That's what I put for the title. Something about having 17 portals inside of that place.
Miller.
Maybe I was thinking that we were trying to get rid of it, and they made it angry for like, I don't know. Been there once
No
though, but
idea.
Well, I will tell you that they do have at Hinsdale House. They have a basket of sage out on the table. If that tells you anything.
Interesting. Because
It-
they would
it-
be
it-
doing exact opposite of what they want if what I've heard is
No.
true.
yeah,
It sure is.
And then everyone that goes in there is just pissing it off more
yeah,
and more. and
literally.
more.
yeah, they even had cameras there, but I unplugged the cameras. I asked.
We had permission because when I went back into the woods, there's no, like, you have no phone service at Hinsdale at all. You only
Really?
have Wi-Fi inside the house. Well, obviously it wasn't going to pick up back towards the woods, so I took extension cords and my my Verizon box, and I took extension cords all the way back to the woods in my Verizon box to
I was
have internet to
talking
go
about
out.
Bel Air, not Hinsdale. Bel Air, but there was people there. I think, from what I heard, a story. I think a girl left a bloody tampon on the wall or something over there. Something like nasty happened where they were pissed off about it.
That's fucking
What?
insane.
Ew.
If I say what?
They were trying to summon something. I don't know.
That sounds like some ritualistic craziness for real though.
That's like some
What the
lunaticism.
I'm a virgin, take my blood.
Oh my god.
Right.
Like, wow, that's insane.
Gosh, and the crazy thing
And
is,
when it
is like,
comes to, because there was I'm gonna respond to that comment. That
Wasn't there something like that in Sally's house too when we went in the bathroom?
I'm not sure. That troll that was in there earlier mentioned something about being against demons. It's not about being against it. It's the fact that the main thing is when people use that as titles to these locations that you need to pay for, and the owners see it, there's a good possibility where they can shut down those locations.
Oh, 100%. That's
And
why
that's-
it's like you
that's
have to be
why
careful.
The main reason why I'm against it, besides like a couple other reasons, but
And to
Right.
clarify, we never, ever, ever once stated demon at all whatsoever in the whole situation. What was said is exactly what happened, and there is video footage of it. Is we were both doing the Ouija board at Hinsdale House
Mhm.
before the accident and everything, and the Zozo word come through there.
Right.
it's also called the infamous demonic, however you want to call it. I mean,
Yeah, we don't even like. I like to say I ride the line on demons, where it's like if you can prove to me that a demon's real, I might believe it. I might not still believe it. Like at this point, like it could just be a very evil spirit.
A
Doesn't
dark
have to
energy.
be a demon. Yeah, like some type of darkness. Like I don't know if you can you can throw a religious moniker on it just because. Like it
Yep.
just doesn't seem like it should always fit like that, because it's
Yeah.
just what we've always known. Because if you look at history itself isn't
you look-
perfect.
if you look at people are monsters.
True that too. Yeah, people
what
are more
people do to
monsters
people.
than anything.
We're literally
Right.
just talking about, people doing rituals.
Yeah, we're talking about
People do-
Hitler too.
People do sacrificial like rituals, like it actually
Yeah.
happens. And like there could be one happening right now as we're talking somewhere.
I wouldn't even doubt it.
Probably
Like,
lots of
it's
them.
fucked up. So like, like who's to say that the person or spirit that you're talking to is a demon?
Isn't literally
Terrible
just
fucking person.
isn't somebody that is malicious enough to try and literally end your life by fucking taking tires off while you're on the road, and then like somehow manipulating a truck to like fucking cream into you, like, you know what I mean? Like it's shit like that where it's like that's not out of the realm of possibilities for what we're even
Right.
doing.
Right. Well, it was just, like you said, coincidence. So, I mean, we're both of us, neither one of us know what we're doing, messing with a Ouija board, and that comes through. We don't know how to close it or know that you have to close it a certain way or anything like that. And then, the series of events after the fact happen.
Yeah, like how do you explain those series of events at all?
Right.
Yeah, I have crazy stories with the Ouija board. I won't even touch one anymore. It's been
Me neither.
years since I have, but like I almost did this past weekend, but what do you know? It ended up getting shot down. So I don't know if that's a sign or not, but if you believe in that kind of thing, like it's kind of spooky that I was like, yeah, let's do it. And then the opportunity just didn't happen.
Right.
It's almost like it wasn't supposed to.
Whether it's a demon, a dark energy, or whatever it is, it's not very nice, whatever we had to deal with.
That's
And I
what
don't,
terrifies me most is like I don't know what any of that stuff is though. Like that's what's scary is like if something is malicious in any way or dark, like I don't know what it is at all.
Right. And do they pretend to be little children?
Yeah.
Like, is
that's
that
like at the
like
Sally
real?
house. We went to Sally house, and there was what you said, like it was the kid that was communicating.
Yeah, the kid when she was doing Estes, I told her we still didn't even watch that live from that.
No.
She was singing like trying to play like the little girl was playing hide and go seek.
Mm-hmm.
And like she was doing the Estes and singing like 1 2 3 3 2 1 come find me, I'm right here, something like that. It's all the evidence is all there.
The
Though.
crazy part is though is the theory behind Sally house is supposedly it's a demon acting like a little girl, but the evidence that we got was the way he explained to me. We haven't watched it back, so I mean, like I said, I couldn't tell you what was being said through Estes, but it's like he was communicating with the little girl that wanted to play.
That is really interesting.
So I mean, it's like, how do you pin that to, something demonic when a little girl wanted to play, but she didn't, flip and turn into, that
Yeah,
evil.
like what do you only get? Is it some certain days you get one side of it and then the other coin another day?
Well, it didn't feel like anything. You could feel there's definitely a presence in that house, but it didn't feel like, oh, you got to watch your back, or something's gonna get me, like
Yeah,
that.
like I'm gonna get stabbed here in like 10
Right?
minutes.
Yeah, it didn't feel like that, at all. I mean, I think like the most eerie part of it, which we didn't go in the basement because it was blocked off, and it said that like don't go down there, whatever. And we were on live stream, and you don't want to go through all that whole situation. Somebody saying, well, they went down there, and then something happened to Sally house, and nobody can investigate there no more because we went downstairs. We weren't playing that.
Yeah.
They have the actual surgical tools in, was it the kitchen that the doctor operated on the little girl that died.
Yep.
Wow.
They're laid out on a table, and in the picture of her, and it's just like that's like the most eerie thing right there. And it's like, as far as what is it, like attachments or energy or whatever, like tools and stuff like that can hold energy, and it's just
Yeah.
like the weirdest feeling.
It was held in the hand of the person who, killed her.
Yeah.
It was the
Mm-hmm.
last thing to be touching her as she died, too. And like,
Mm-hmm.
if you believe in like, what is it, the
Stone
Stonewall
tape.
theory?
It's stone
Yeah,
tape
stone
theory.
tape theory. Like, that could kind of apply to that a little bit with like the metal and the scalpel and
It's
everything.
kind of like Tommy's last premiere that he had that had like the map or whatever that had the
Yeah.
the energy or whatever in there. It's like haunted items.
Yeah,
they're,
items
they're
definitely
very
can be
interesting
haunted.
because we had a family clock that we think was haunted. We got this clock, and then ever since we got the clock, just bad things kept happening. Like my mom was in a car accident, like almost died, and a bunch of other like financial issues and things like that led to us getting rid of the clock. We got rid of the clock, and all of the bad things that were happening to us, like accidents, cars breaking down constantly, like seemed to like go away.
That's crazy. See, it's like you can't. It's almost like you can have 20 channels on here, and everybody's going to disagree with another one just because they haven't experienced it. So they're going to say that you're not legit because they haven't experienced it yet until they do.
Yeah, I used to be a firm believer of like I have to experience this 100% to be a believer, but I think over time, a lot more recently, like with a lot of other investigators, like I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt. And then if they're like, no, I truly wholeheartedly believe like I had this crazy experience, and then they show me it and I'm like, it is everybody's perception, but like you were there. So like I can't say I know what's up or not what's up.
Right. You just got to take it for face value. You really do. And you can't get too beat down by people's opinions.
No, not at all.
Because they're completely entitled to them. That if someone thinks that you're a joker because you use apps on your investigation, they can think that. That's fair enough. Might be a joker. I already know I'm a clown, so like, you can't fool me.
So is everybody. So is all these other channels that use apps too. There's so many channels that use apps now. So why would they pinpoint and say, "Oh, well, you're a clown because you use an app"?
Look at how much the Ovilus costs. It's expensive. Like I don't think that's within reasonable budget for most people. Like, and
it does the same thing as these apps, though.
Exactly, and it's not, and like they might work just a tad differently, but like they are 100% both high-end equipment doing what that is doing, because your phone is just as expensive. Like if you have like an iPhone or like a nicer newer Android,
it costs more than an Ovilus.
Usually, yeah, it should,
and has more technology in it, honestly.
That's why I would put my money in, like saying like, I think if you have an Ovilus, awesome.
Yeah, with paranormal investigating, you use whatever tool is most necessary and most readily available for yourself. And then it's up to you to decipher whether you believe this was paranormal or this was not paranormal.
At the end of the day, they're just tools.
At the end of the day, it's you're doing something that you love, and that you love, like creating something around and allowing other people to view and have their own opinion on, because that's art. Like, that's showbiz, baby, as they say. And like,
that is
showbiz. The paranormal world is an entertainment business. Like it is. People watch this stuff for entertainment. Because the paranormal is entertaining. It's history. It's live history. Live in your face.
It's entertaining, but it's mostly boring to other people.
That's like, to us this is awesome.
If you're getting evidence every single location you go to, or
dude, I love watching stuff like yours, because it's like, do you know how many other questions that I can glean from stuff like that? Or like if your style might be a little bit different from ours, and it's like, oh, maybe we can incorporate that into our investigation and see if we get anything, because they're having success with this. Like that's the shit that like I know other paranormal investigators enjoy, and they'll probably like resonate with that. But you're right, like a lot of the masses are like, I just want to see the good stuff. Which,
you know how much better everybody could investigate if everybody would get together and everybody would put all their different ways together, and just, that would be so awesome if everybody could just do that, but they can't.
See, we have been grabbing things from pretty much everyone.
Yeah, we've been trying to pull every string we can to be like, what's the best way forward for us that we like, that we feel confident with, that we don't feel fake at all.
You said what will really make it bump in the night, though, right?
Yeah. Without faking anything.
Yeah.
Right.
But like, there's also times that like we'll try something new and we don't like it.
Yeah.
Like, like someone else, it's something that someone else was doing. We're like, let's try it, and then we're like, that's not
it fails, us. And it's like we didn't do it organically how we wanted, or like how our videos like lately have felt really organic because they flow really well, is because it's like the whole investigation, it just lines up great because we don't take a ton out, and what we do is literally us just like riff-raffing or like being idiots going, yo, you want to like butt fuck later? It's like, it's like stuff like that though. Like it's not literally that, but it's like that's what we'll cut out, but like the rest of it is as genuine as it gets.
Well, that's like whenever we went to the what was it, the church?
Mm.
And we actually took cat balls and attached to a string on purpose. We attached them to a string and hung them in a door frame,
Yeah.
where if something like come through, it could hit it. And we like had come up with that idea or whatever, and we were sitting there trying to figure it out. And it's like we did clarify on the live. We do know there's strings on here. We put these strings on the cat ball.
Yeah.
We're
like
not trying to
we
just,
did this.
yeah, we did this
No.
for a reason. We're trying to do.
I like that though, because that's really intuitive. Like I would never have thought to do that myself and like hang it from the doorway so if somebody walks through it or like, you know, like it there's enough energy change or it swings it and it goes off. Like, who the fuck else is doing that? Nobody that I know.
Yeah,
Right.
that's pretty sweet.
We did actually have one of them to go off a couple times like that. And it was actually in a door where, you know, somebody would walk through.
Yeah.
It was
Especially
just
like
things
those
out.
entryways that are very used in houses
Mhm.
where like, you know, it's like this was the only way to get to the bathroom, so people walk through there all the fucking time.
Yeah, we finally had cat balls go off for like the first time ever the past couple investigation. And it was like the most exhilarating like paranormal experience for some reason.
Well, it was like having going to new places and getting all of your equipment going off, and then having equipment that you guys are just now using. Like if you have the flux and you take it somewhere and it goes off like crazy, that's that same feeling I get on being my first investigation again, where it's like, wow, this is incredible. Like this is unexplainable, and this is exactly why I do this.
Right. Well, I want to see the flux go off like that myself, because I mean that thing was not cheap, and we've had no luck with it.
We haven't had our REM pod go off. We've had other people's REM pods go off at other locations,
Our
and then we'll
REM
go to
has
those.
never gone off.
That's
Yep.
crazy because we've had locations that we haven't had the REM pod to go off at all. But
Yeah, we'll have temperature spikes, but REM pod not yet.
Like we almost specifically picked Asher Walton too because of Paranormal Quest's video there and how much REM pod activity they got, and we were like, "It's gonna happen! It's gonna happen!"
Never,
It
not happen all night. And no, we did not retire the duck.
No, we have been bringing it out.
It just hasn't been going off.
Hasn't gone off. The only place I ever make it do it is Eloise.
That place is nuts, though.
That place
Asylum
expensive, I
remains
think.
undefeated.
I want to say the last time I looked into Eloise, I think it was
$650.
I think it was 650 or 700.
I have the quote.
Man, they told me something different because I've been wanting to do that place like last year. I think they told me
it was more expensive last year because ownership changed.
Yeah, they just got new owners.
$650.
Yep.
what?
Yeah,
You guys want to do Eloise? I would think about Eloise in January. I think financially, like, I'd be better off there.
Only, then I mean, I'm down.
we can probably work something out.
Yeah. We'll tentatively say like, because me and Riley are broke bitches.
Yeah.
So like, we'll try our best, and I'll do my best to make it worse because that place is so. It holds a very like dear heart spot for me, where it's like that place is seriously some of the coolest activity we've had ever caught.
There's more places in Michigan down over there too.
Yeah, there's some cemeteries that are up here by us that are like we think are pretty legendary, which not every time we've gone we've had a bunch of stuff happen, but like one of the craziest nights that we've ever had investigating happened at Mouth Cemetery that was like 45 minutes away from where we are right now.
Yeah. Unfortunately, when we bring people there, nothing happens.
Yeah, it seems like it's only us that gets the activity, and then when we come with somebody else, it's like, nah, I ain't fucking with them.
It all depends that person's energy as well, and
that's the thing too. I wonder if it's like, if you go with some of these skeptics, if you're not getting stuff, it's because they're so negative to the idea of something happening that it's just like so off-putting that it's like
that the spirit don't even want to
doesn't
do it.
even care.
Yep.
It's possible, I guess. I know it sounds like kind of like weird where it's like social things, but like we're social creatures. Like it would make sense to me if it's like, oh, like this dude's being a prissy bitch and doesn't care about it. Why the fuck would I do this?
Yeah.
It's because our Reaper friend is there for us. Yes,
That's
The
true.
Reaper. He's with us always.
I might as well just get a tattoo of Big Reaper.
I kind of got one going on.
Kinda. It just completely blotches it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, the green screen's gotta take it off.
But anyways, I do want to thank you for taking your time and coming onto the show tonight.
Yeah, sharing
Dude,
everything with
appreciate
No
us.
problem.
Yeah,
Of course.
I do want to wrap it up only because we do have another live tomorrow, and that's a lot.
Yeah, we'll be live for probably 4 hours in all in 2 days, which is a lot of podcasting for us usually because
But
I have a
we will
4-year-old that's going to preschool.
Yeah, and we'll have Paranormal Wasteland on tomorrow. And if you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe to G's channel down below. I got all the links and everything down there for you. As always,
What?
I was hoping you would take over.
Oh, I was like, do you want me to take it? Are you taking it? Are we doing a dramatic pause? But remember
No,
to
you
keep
go.
your ears and eyes open for what really goes bump
Bump
in the
in the
night.
Peace out, everybody.
I love you guys. Dramatic pauses.